morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning to life.
Good morning.
Music. Talk. Inspiration. In perspective.
Express yourself.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Citi FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
Citi FM 97.3.
That he made on the cross for us. He has become our Jehovah Shalom, which means Jesus is our peace.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
When sorrow nears, Jehovah sees, Jehovah hears. Feel the presence of God upon the waters. Hear the voice of the Lord within the thunder that rolls. King of the flood, the Lord is mighty, mighty. The Lord can calm the troubled soul. Troubled soul. Peace when trouble goes. Jehovah sees, Jehovah knows. He is my peace when sorrow nears. Jehovah sees, Jehovah hears. Like the bread I need to live. Jehovah takes, Jehovah gives. Gives me peace when trouble goes. Jehovah sees, Jehovah knows. Yes, he knows.
This is Citi 97.3.
Judgment coming, he is my peace. Men pursue me, he is my peace. Judgment is coming, he is my peace. War may follow, but I know he is my peace. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, he is. Jehovah is my peace. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I will worship the Lord, for he is worthy. I will lay down my sword, the Prince of Peace is his name. King of the flood, the Lord is mighty, mighty. The Lord can quench the
29 after 6. Friday morning, January 3, 2025. Welcome to 97.3 Citi FM. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. My name is Caleb Kuda. Many people are looking for peace. Indeed, who doesn't love peace? A peaceful nation, a peaceful family, a peaceful work environment. Everyone loves that state of harmony in the absence of hostility and violence. Peace to many is an absence of trouble, an absence of chaos and turbulence. But listen, Paul wrote to Timothy, mark this, he said, there would be terrible times in the last days. However, in a tumultuous world, we have this confidence in Jehovah Elohim, Jehovah Shammah, the Prince of Peace, that when trouble blows over our souls, He will be our peace, and indeed He is our peace. So we are not without hope. He is my peace. We are with the great I Am, who says to the storm, peace be still. He is my peace. So whether you're going through personal turbulence that you don't even know how to describe, or your years of labor are gone in flames in an instant, lay down your sword, for the King of the flood, the Prince of Peace. He gives true peace, inner calmness which comes from His presence. So peace is not necessarily an absence of turbulence, but that inner calmness to go through the turbulence. So don't drown in your losses. Don't let your sorrows flood your spirit. In the flames of pain, rest on His assurance that He is your peace. Lionel Peterson, welcoming us to Friday, January 3, 2025. This is your favorite dial, 97.3 Citi FM, your favorite radio show in the morning. We call it the Citi Breakfast Show. And while we rest in the assurance of His peace, we need to also take concrete steps to protect our peace by being wise, choosing our words carefully, and also taking prudent steps that will safeguard our years of investments and labor. We call it business sense. Choose to be a peaceful person. Choose to be a person of peace. Your words can cause the peace of the nation. Your action can do same. Your words can also sustain the peace we enjoy. Same can your actions. So in all you do, don't take your peace for granted. Work towards the peace of the nation. Work towards its progress and prosperity. For when it prospers, you too shall prosper. It's a very simple but powerful message for you this morning. And stay with us here on 97.3 Citi FM, because we'll be bringing you information. We'll be bringing you conversations that will help you walk in peace and live in peace. And so this year, as we do always, we'll start the year with Effective Living series. We'll be speaking to life coaches and thought leaders who will help you set realistic goals, help you change your mindset so that you can pursue peace, pursue your dreams and goals, and end the year in peace. We'll speak to the right people at all times. We'll bring you the right conversations. We'll bring you the right events that will help your business. We'll take you across the country on the Heritage Caravan. We'll bring you interviews on our nation and what makes us unique. On the Heritage Caravan, Heritage Series. We'll bring you Business Olympics. We'll bring you This is Ghana, it's one of my favorites. And already people are asking, when is the Heritage Caravan announcement out? When are you starting? When should we start payment? Calm down. Live in peace. We'll bring you the information in peace. So we'll bring you events, we'll bring you shows, we'll bring you conversations, we'll lead campaigns, we highlight your stories, we tell your stories, we inspire change. So stay with us throughout the year. We are your partners in development. We'll bring you the news review shortly. Brought to you by Piva Beverages and Total Energies. If you're looking for a best of flavor in every sip, you can discover the refreshing taste of Piva Beverages. We have a wide range of flavors. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available at a local store or call us now on 0550-032-231. Piva Beverages is a taste you will love. It's an advert that's FDA approved. And Total Energies is kicking off the holiday spirit with the Bronya Lube special from November 1 all the way to January 31. They are spreading festive cheer, so swing by the Liberation Road, Tessano, Dacoman, Link Road, Sakumono, Farah Avenue, Oxford Street, Community One Stadium at Premdo Total Energies service station. Change your engine oil and get a free elite car wash to keep your ride sparkling. It's like giving your car a holiday makeover. While preparing to hit the road, make sure your vehicle is ready for the festivities. Visit our website, totalenergies.com. Follow us on social media. On Facebook, Total Energies Ghana. On X is Total Energies GH. Instagram, Total Energies GH.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hannah Friye, the Health and Safety Manager of Total Energies Ghana. I want to remind you of the importance of road safety, especially as the festive season draws closer. Road accidents don't just happen, they are caused. Reckless driving, overspeeding, and poor vehicle maintenance are some of the leading causes during this period. Here are a few tips to keep you safe. Always ensure your vehicle is in good condition before traveling. Please wear your seatbelt and avoid distractions like using your phone whilst driving. Let's commit to responsible behavior on the road this season. Remember, safety starts from you. Safety for me, for you, and for all. Afishapa.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva Beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva Tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
My body, when you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling, oh, you go work, but you know it's out on your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, cause you know it's out on your side. When you dream, no say I never you. And when you hustle every day, many wanna go. Anything you do, I never you. Many want. If I believe I'm on your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I'm on your side, fidelity.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Onye ya biri kwenyi bi ahade yanda embiri ni ha na bibini fisensa moye jumanu ondidi enti na mele na nkeme didi danso me ko pe bibi dino anone me ba ya denam amanya me uninya da ki ya ko sam Asisi kwa shemu wakikademi nibina menke ono wejimida on the phone. So the phone paka suga phone wale guide no sisi kwa shemu wakikademi nibina menke ono wejimida on the phone. So the phone paka suga phone wale guide no Shadi mame una meleka na nyawode na meleka akontu monsami yeli na yaka the master begin a mo nyamina I am sent to me hustle me the baby da same ya the party da nyamina was some yabe out over nyamia wa westela mo se gesi for heart trick no je over nyamia wa westela motivate you but you go okay mama atafu enyanso ya mama na yeso ne ma no no mama wakada nyamia ya so no na wa you know akuida nya no ko
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Asisi kwa shemu wakikademi nibina menke ono wejimuda on the phone. So the phone paka suga phone wale guide no sisi kwa shemu wakikademi nibina menke ono wejimuda on the phone. So the phone paka suga phone wale guide no Shaya Baya Wahabia, Kamaya no long time. Missy Mesha Shaya Bafa Wahabia, Kama for no long time. Brother Mesha Shaya Baya Wahano Waya, Kamaya then. Missy Mesha Shaya Bafa Wahano Ogua.
Kofi Kenata, behind the scenes. And Kekeli joins me in the studio. Vivian Kekeli Kailoko, man. No, you brought some sunshine to the studio this morning.
I'm sure my dad in his grave will be like, hey,
what is going on here?
What is going on here?
Good morning, Vicky.
Hi, Caleb.
Oh, man. You brought some good spirit into the studio,
That's
man.
Good to hear.
Yeah, good
but
to have
you. You guys are giving me names from your tribe, which is lovely. But what is yours? From yours.
Oh, I'm Yauche.
I just know Caleb Kuda.
Yes, I'm Yauche because I was born on Thursday and my elder brother is Yao, so I'm the smaller Yao.
Oh, okay.
So Yauche.
Yauche, all right. Hi, Yauche.
Vivian was lucky they didn't give a basket full of flowers.
Hey, are you
so, in Legon, I had a mate called Basket Full of Flowers.
Charlie, why? Basket full of flowers. No, man. Oh, no,
Charlie, you spot there. But I like the kekeli. It's sweet. And
kekeli is sunshine.
when you hear it, you just have a smile on your
radiance,
face. So I love it.
No, but basket full of flowers.
No.
That's serious.
Please take that off me. Fred, be careful.
Good morning, Fred. Good to have you.
Good morning,
So, Fred Jabano joins us as well for the news review. We are online, right? I saw the images from Kantamanto last night on CNL. Vivian, I cried.
I cried as well. I was just watching and listening to the traders.
It was difficult.
The pain in their hearts. If you look in their eyes,
years of labor, gone in flames.
You know, I was just telling you off air that you start the year. You've done your prayers. You've done your fasting.
Charlie.
You want to start on a clean slate. Charlie. You have, all the ambitions in your mind to take off, and then the first thing you are hit with is that you've lost everything.
It's not good.
It's painful.
It's
Gosh.
not good.
Our hearts to all of them.
Absolutely. Hopefully, we really would do something to forestall these things, because when tragedy happens or crisis happens, it's always an opportunity to reflect on how you organize your life and do better. But it doesn't look like I'm
not sure. This
take
is
our
not
lessons seriously.
The first time we're seeing this caliber of fire. There was one that lasted for 3 days.
The other time.
Yeah. If you ask
and
me
Makola
whether
too.
we reset the place properly and made it easy for the demarcations, for the access, for the fire service, I would say no, we haven't. So I'm not sure this will be a lesson, but it's 2025. We have to be positive,
must grow.
right?
We must change our mindset and do things differently. I heard the regional minister say that whoever is behind this, God will punish the person. And
because there are a lot of conspiracy theories being bundled around. One to say that it was deliberate by one, and another. So.
The sad part of this thing is that, it's usually an annual occurrence.
Yes.
Every year you
markets.
See a market burn, and you ask yourself, what are we putting in place to ensure that we stop some of these things? Because even outside our regular going and coming, there's this usual activities within the market. Anytime the fire service go to the market, they always want stop using fire within the marketplace. Stop cooking there. When you have your wooden structures, your gas, we need to now take all these things very seriously. Otherwise, we'll come, cry, weep about all these things. We'll get the place fixed again. Then it would occur because our activities would continue. If we don't change our attitudes and activities, it will remain and would continue to see what we are seeing each and every other time. So it's sad, really, really sad. But I pray that after we are able to get through this particular phase of our lives and we put in measures to ensure that these things do not reoccur, we, the people, would also adhere to the measures to ensure that we don't do things and engage in activities which would cause fire within the market.
Already, Vicky, I heard one of the market leaders say, by Saturday they'll start putting up structures again, because the fear is that if the government takes over and puts up structures, then they're going to lose their places and shops and places will be given to cronies and all those things. But I think we probably need to take our time and probably probe the thing properly, do the investigation, and then come out with outcomes, and the recommendations should be far-reaching. Because this is too devastating.
With these market fires, there are 3 causes usually. 1, irresponsible behavior. Somebody left fire on, didn't turn off something properly. 2, electrical, faults. And the 3rd one is the arson thing. I remember the last fire that lasted 3 days or so. The market, queens and all that said they were putting in place measures to ensure that every time somebody is policing the various stalls to ensure that people turn off, these fires they put on to cook or whatever, to iron and all that. The Kantamanto side, they do a lot of ironing.
And things.
There's a place they even do the pleats, exactly, to ensure that they are put off, on a regular basis. Secondly, they were supposed to rewire the place to ensure that any
cables and things
are
like
dealt
that.
with and all that. I'm not sure after the incident happened, it was done. But comes back to the question we keep asking: who is checking?
I don't know.
Who is checking? You have a municipality there. You know, you have ministers.
In fact, Metropolitan
Yes,
Assembly.
a Metropolitan Assembly who is checking. Because till we properly build markets like we see elsewhere that are properly demarcated, the structures are right for, you know, we will have these kinds of stores or shacks or whatever you call them.
We really need to
by
look up.
next week we'll see the same type of
coming up
materials
again.
being used and all that. But who is going to check to ensure that we don't see the level of devastation we've seen, you know,
Who
within
is
the day
checking?
or
That's
two?
the big question, and there are several other questions too. I watched the news again last night. Crowfrom, there's a huge market project there that has been abandoned. People complain that people have turned the structure into a Charlie. Other stories.
Our problems are a lot too.
Charlie, over me. Akufo-Addo to deliver final State of the Nation address to Parliament today. I promise to work hard with God as my guide. This is Asamoah Gyan. Iyoko investigates alleged acquisition of Prestia Bogoso mine. NPP confirms Asamoah Gyan as minority leader. Election of Speaker will be conducted transparently. This is the Planning Committee. Kantamanto traders seek support after devastating fire destroys hundreds of shops. Professor Gachi questions justification for 350 million Ghana cedi tax exemption, and we are told one person has died at the Agbogloshi market. And guess who is leading the committee to probe NPP's electoral loss? Professor Aaron Mike Okwe, whose son actually lost Dom Kwabenya. And then Parliament has approved the 2025 mini budget. No, I mean, people are saying if your son led the party to lose such a big seat, they don't feel confident in your ability
but then it
to
makes
do
it easier.
an
Your
effective
first
job,
person
you
you're
know.
speaking to is your son.
You're dealing with your son.
Like,
Okay.
well,
Charity begins at home.
So that's easy. Let me take you to Citi Newsroom. Its lead story, of course, is the Akufo-Addo to deliver final State of the Nation address today. We'll have that on radio 97.3 FM as well as Channel 1 TV. Then also court holds Ernest Kumi swearing in as Akwitia MP-elect. GES dismisses calls for postponement, SHS to reopen January 3rd. And also we are told that 20 billion Ghana cedis has been allocated for interest payments on ESLA than IPPs.
Channel1news.com says SHS.
I took care of Channel 1.
Okay.
So let's go to My Joy this time.
Let's go to My Journal.
Yes,
My Journal line says debt exchange program has nothing to do with BOG.
Okay.
BOG independent, says the BOG governor. Then it says Parliament approves over 68 billion for the first quarter of 2025. National Security Ministry bans drone flights during presidential inauguration. GS rejects CHAS postponement request, insists on SHS reopening date. Then we have scrap dealers gain from Kantamanto fire as traders count their losses. That's My Joy Online.
Okay, let me take you to Class FM Online. Tomorrow's SHS reopening in limbo as CHAS demands payment for feeding and others. This is Class FM Online. To some other stories there, President-elect calls for prayers and unity to help address Ghana's challenges. Asamoah Gyan has been in the news.
I know.
Asamoah Gyan has been talking. Asamoah Gyan blames evil individuals for Ghana's football failures. Finance Minister seeks 68.1 billion for first quarter of 2025. We know that has been approved. And then also Deputy IGP tightens news around Captain Smart's neck with defamation suit. NPP now accepts the alternative is not empty after all. This is Omane Buama. Asamoah Gyan leads NPP team for 9th Parliament. This is Class.
Okay. Let me take you to 3news.com.
Yes,
I'll
please.
take off from the Asamoah Gyan another angle from there. He says NPP and NDC could be behind Kantamanto fire.
Oh,
so this is
okay.
Asamoah Gyan speaking on the fire. And then we are told harvested maize belonging to Savannah Regional Minister burned to ashes.
True.
Hey. And the 9th Parliament, NPP confirms Asamoah Gyan as minority leader and Odompre as chief whip. And then finally on the CHAS thing, it says SHS reopening, GES confirms January 3rd despite CHAS concern.
Okay.
AsasiRadio.com. Akufo-Addo to reflect on achievements in the last State of the Nation address. NPP forms 11-member committee to review 2024 election defeat. and Parliament passes Environmental Protection Bill. That's Asasi FM, asasiradio.com.
Okay, so we can go into the details now. Parliament has approved the 2025 mini budget. Letitia Osei writes for channel1news.com that Parliament has approved a resolution authorizing the expenditure of 68.1, is it billion or million? Seeing billion here. Yeah, billion Ghana cedi for the period of January to March 2025 as part of an expenditure in advance of appropriation. Now, this mini budget aims to sustain government operations until the incoming Mahama administration presents a full budget for the rest of the year. So there's a breakdown here. And then there is a background of the delays and all of that, the attachments, the strings that were attached to the passage. So
I'm
what
happy,
did they give?
It's been approved, and then all the concerns we raised yesterday over the payment of workers, the government business, interest payments, and all those things will be rolled out for people to get what is due them.
Were the tax exemptions passed though?
No.
They weren't. Okay.
So but we need to get that report.
Yes, we need to
see the details.
We want to see the details. Yesterday, Sky was telling me that we've all failed as a nation, not just the lawmakers and everybody on these exemptions. Us as journalists, what have we also done to ensure that the boxes were ticked on the tax exemptions? Our job is to go and look for the report. So it's what it is. So we are going all out.
We have to now look for the report.
Yes, and then fish the details.
And then bring listeners and viewers.
No problem. We'll do that. Cantamanto.
Okay. Before I take you to Kantam, let me wrap up quickly in Parliament. Right. NPP names Asamoah Gyan as minority leader for 9th Parliament. This story is on citinewsroom.com. Again by Letitia Osei. It says the National Council of the NPP has officially confirmed its leadership structure for the 9th Parliament, signaling the party's strategy to manage the legislative affairs in the upcoming session. The newly appointed leadership lineup includes Alexander Asamoah Gyan as minority leader, Patricia P.J. as deputy minority leader, Frank Anodompre as chief whip, Habib Idrisu as first deputy minority whip, and Jerry Hametribe as second deputy minority whip. So that's the team for the minority side for this.
Still in Parliament today, Akufo-Addo to deliver final State of the Nation address in Parliament. The story on Channel 1 Newsroom says, channel1news.com says, President Akufo-Addo is set to deliver his final State of the Nation address to Parliament on Friday, January 3, 2025, ahead of the dissolution of the 8th Parliament. The address, mandated by Article 67 of the 1992 Constitution, will serve as the President's final assessment of the nation's condition before he leaves office.
Okay, so we'll look forward to that. We'll bring you all that later today. Now, Cantamanto traders seek support after devastating fire destroys hundreds of shops. William Na writes on channel1newsroom.com as well that traders at the Cantamanto market are urgently calling for support after a devastating fire swept through hundreds of shops in the early hours of Thursday, January 2, 2025. The fire, which broke out around 1 a.m., caused widespread destruction to one of Accra's busiest markets, known for its vibrant trade in second-hand goods. So more calls for help indeed. I mean, all hands must be on deck on this one. A friend, scripture says, a brother is a friend is there for every day, but a brother is made for a day of adversity. So our brothers in Cantamanto, our brothers in Cantamanto are looking forward to us, showing them love. So corporate Ghana,
if you know somebody
everybody,
there, call them, reach out.
We have to show love to our brothers and sisters.
Anyway, I'll take off from you on that. I'll still stay with the Cantamanto. I want to take you to Asamoah Gyan. He's been speaking on that, and this story is on 3news.com. Baby jet. So he says, they say former Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan has suggested that the NDC and the MPP may be potential culprits behind the recent fire outbreak at Kantamanto in Accra. During an Instagram live session on Thursday, January 2nd, 2025, Gyan shared his thoughts on the devastating fire, among other issues. He speculated that both political parties might have motives for orchestrating such an incident. Quote, "What is going on? It can be MPP or NDC. The MPP can burn the place to irritate the people, whilst the NDC could use the fire as a secret plan to clear the space for a project," he said. Now, Gyan further suggested that the NDC might cause fire to extort money from the state for reconstruction, while the MPP could start the fire and shift the blame onto the NDC.
In all these, I've not heard, so the police is mandated to investigate this, or is the fire service? All this is in the domain of the fire service.
Yes.
But if it takes criminal elements, I think that's where the police...
Yes, so
let's see
after
the
their investigations, if there are any criminal issues found,
the
they
police
forward it
takes
to
up,
the police.
and then prosecution continues. So let's see what the outcome of these investigations will be. What's interesting is that always we are told there will be investigation. We never hear the conclusion of same. Remember the jewelry robbery at Adabaka? Police said they don't know what has happened, what has become of that investigation. But there is reopening, free SHS, and this is where it's sad. If your parents have their hopes on Kantamanto proceeds to take you to school, SHS reopening is set for January 3, despite CHAS concerns. So the Ghana Education Service has reaffirmed that the 2024-2025 academic year schedule remains unchanged despite recent calls for adjustment. In a statement dated January 2, 2025, GES emphasized that the reopening dates for basic and second cycle institutions, as previously communicated, will be upheld. The directive was issued to provide clarity and prevent disruptions to the calendar. If you go to my joy, same on this. GES rejects CHAS's postponement request, insist on SHS reopening date. So it looks like stakeholders are not able to reach compromise. Tomorrow's SHS reopening in limbo as CHAS demands payments for feeding and others. So these are all the same stories around the same. These are all different stories, different angles around the same story.
Okay, now I'll take you to the courts because High Court grants injunction against NPP's Ernest Kumi from holding himself as MP-elect. This is on myjoyonline.com. It says the Confederal High Court in the Eastern Region has granted an interim injunction against a swearing-in of Ernest Kumi as a Member of Parliament elect for Akwitia constituency. Mr. Kumi was declared the winner by the Electoral Commission 3 weeks ago following a dispute between the two main contestant parties in the constituency, the NDC and the MPP, over the collation of results. However, the NDC's parliamentary candidate, Henry Boachi Yadom, has filed a lawsuit against the EC, Ernest Kumi, and the clerk to Parliament seeking an injunction to prevent Mr. Kumi's swearing in. After hearing the case, the court issued an order prohibiting Mr. Kumi from being recognized as the MP-elect for Akwitia.
We are back to 2020. You remember Asin South?
Yes.
Asin North.
Asin
North. The same thing happened some few hours before the swearing in. There was an injunction and they had to manage
smuggle
people into the house. It looks like it's the same thing coming to play out. But you have, today is Friday. You have some few days to be able to deal with this case. The CJ a week ago or 2 weeks ago indicated that they're going to allow the courts to work over the weekend. So I'm sure that the other parties involved in the case may apply to the court.
But the weekends, does it include Sundays or just Saturday?
No, the weekend.
Holiday so both days.
So if it becomes necessary for the court to sit on Sunday, they would sit on Sunday.
All right. So
let's see how that goes. Already there's a case in court which is expected, the ruling is expected to be given tomorrow with regards to the other constituencies which were collated. So, with the makeup of Parliament for the next 4 years, it's still uncertain. And based on some of these court cases.
It looks interesting. We wait to see how it will all pan out. Let me give you a final one from me. It was the right call. BOG Governor defends license revocation amidst banking crisis in 2017. He's been speaking also on the domestic debt exchange program. He says it's got nothing to do with the that exchange program has nothing to do with BOG independence. So just quick highlights. The governor of the Bank of Ghana opened up about the tumultuous banking sector crisis that unfolded in 2017 with the decisive actions that reshaped Ghana's financial landscape, with a firm stance in a revealing interview on Joy News' PM Express. On January 2, Dr. Ernest Addison justified the revocation of banking licenses as a critical move to restore stability and confidence in the sector.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me take you, Caleb. You are the one who likes flying drones. Government says government bans drone flights around Black Star Square on January 7th. So you are being warned.
I won't go there.
The Ministry of National Security has issued a directive banning the use of drones at the Black Star Square and its surrounding areas during the inauguration of President-elect John Dramani Mahama on January 7, 2025.
Right.
In a press release signed by Lily Fati Swale, Acting Chief Director of the Ministry of Information, the government clarified that the restriction applies to all drones, both recreational and commercial, as part of efforts to ensure the safety and security of visiting dignitaries, guests, and general public.
Okay, but I hope the state itself will fly some drones, because the aerial shots are always very, very refreshing.
I'm sure they'll give clearance,
to
clearance, maybe
some
to
official drone pilots.
Exactly, and even the security itself.
It's very important. But Vicky, the last story I will wrap up with, that's very troubling. I saw it on CNL last night. Abandoned Crowfro Market is my biggest regret. This is the Kumasi mayor,
right?
They said they are defecating there.
Why was he unable to get it done?
It's like nothing has been done there.
What happened to him?
It's such a big project. Nothing has been done on that. It's a big bush. Huge pillars.
I was watching, I was like, Charlie, we love to abandon projects.
I don't understand.
We love to abandon projects too much. Start something, complete it.
Finish the thing.
It's one of the few countries in the world where somebody starts building something, it takes 20
we'll
years
just
or
leave
more.
it. Then someone else will come and do it.
I mean, if it's a private person who is struggling to get money to, that's a different story. But the government ones, I don't get it.
And this is something that will provide you revenue after you are done.
Now people are using it to do their number 2.
Oh, Charlie.
For more than 15 years.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of life is this? Anyway, that was the news review. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, Fred.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees. Mommy chop money. Cratchy, mommy rent. Emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town.
More money, challenge and enjoyment. At the top life we got.
Dial star 770 hash for money emergencies and chop life.
For emergency access to your bank accounts, transfers, utility payments, loans, and more, dial star 770 hash. Bank on the go even without data with EcoBank's short code for digital banking. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
For over 60 years, Good Energy has served you top quality fuel. Goil brings you Super XP for a smooth ride. It is available in Goil stations nationwide. Goil Super XP is fortified with special additives which help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Goil Super XP is quality fuel, the ideal choice for most vehicles. Energize your ride with Goil Super XP. Woofilia, huh? Woobefi. Good energy.
Guys, Charlie, you know that mining contract I've been chasing for years now? I just got awarded the deal. But the issue is where to get the right and quality heavy-duty trucks to execute this job here in Ghana.
Relax, my guy. Remember my recent construction deal at Pokwase? Zonda sorted me out.
Zonda? What? Who is that?
Zonda Tech Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for machinery, heavy and light-duty trucks, and pickups. They have the Shantui bulldozers, graders, payloaders, rollers, poor pickups, 4 land light trucks, TX trucks, and oil tanks, made and assembled right here in Ghana with top-notch after-sale service and standard prices.
Made in Ghana. This is amazing. You haven't seen my Zonda Power pickup, which I take to the office. Strong, durable, and tough on our roads. Hey, that's from Zonda too? Absolutely. Zonda is the right place for you, my guy. Oh, now I am sorted with Zonda. Zonda Tech Ghana Limited, your solution for heavy and light-duty trucks. Located at Tema, off the Aflao Road. Call 0501 772 222 or 0501 773 333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
What if we told you that your next adventure is just a tap away? That's right. With Republic Bank Visa Credit Card, it's your time to win a staycation at some of Ghana's luxury beach resorts, 5-course dinner, a full-day spa service, or the ultimate, an all-expense paid trip to Dubai, the city of gold. Every tap brings you closer to winning in the Top Win and Fly with Republic Bank promo. Whether it's Infinite, Adishi, or Classic Credit Card, just keep tapping to win. New customers are welcome. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
There's no price like the ShopRite price. That's why we are committed to bringing you lower prices on all the essentials you need. Like 1 liter series 100% fruit juice, all variants for only 45 cedis, 99 pesos each. And 500 grams Good Start White Oats porridge for just 19 cedis, 99 pesos. Never pay more than the ShopRite price. Price is valid until 12 January. Only at ShopRite.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Tune into the king of songs and blues. She not because say I tell you, say I care. Maybe the reason why you want for me for. She not because say I tell you, say I love you. Maybe the reason why you want for me for all I do. You know go laugh me for my face. While I do. You know go fit to use my head. Wicked love in a wicked world.
It's 10 after 7. Later today, President of the Republic, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, he'll be giving account of his stewardship in the last 8 years. As we finally, gradually draw the curtains on his stewardship or his tenure, what would you remember President Akufo-Addo for? What for you is his legacy in the last 8 years? If you're writing the state of the country under his leadership as far as your life is concerned and all that you have experienced are concerned, how would you describe his tenure? Let us know. Happy to hear from you. 0549986996. Later this morning, not later actually, we'll start from Kantamanto. We'll take you back there, bring you updates, what has happened as traders count their losses, and how we can holistically take a look at this and do some preventives instead of curatives. Some wonderful fellas are celebrating their birthdays today. We'll do well to celebrate them. You can also join us with your dedications on 0549986996, 0549986996. In the meantime, Good Energy brings you Girl Super XP, the ideal choice for most vehicles flowing wild. Many Girl stations in the country. So just go fuel up your vehicle and enjoy the smooth ride with all the benefits. Girl Super XP's quality gives you the correct choice when buying regular fuel. Girl Super XP is fortified with a special additive that gives longevity to your engine, makes your engine perform to the max using minimal fuel, and it is suitable for most vehicles. As you journey the road, look out for Girl stations with the Girl Super XP. Sign and go fuel up your vehicle. Look out for the Girl Super XP sign and go fuel up your vehicle. Super XP, so fili ube fili. Girl, Good Energy, young idea. In a world where dreams are the driving force, one company stands out as the hope of transformation. Talking about Zonda Ghana Limited, your one-stop shop for quality trucks. Shantui bulldozers, excavators, graders, payloaders, rollers, power pickups, TX trucks, oil tanks, all made and assembled right here in Ghana. Doesn't get any better than that. Zonda Ghana Limited, they provide top-notch after-sales service for all your heavy and light-duty trucks as well as machinery needs. Visit us today at any of our 7 branches around the country. Also, our head office is off the Tema Plow Road, close to the Free Zones Enclave in Tema. Call this number 050-177-2222, 050-177-3333. Zonda is built in Ghana and building Ghana. And I know you've worked hard all year round, like a gentleman who just walked into the studio, and you've saved up. But fraudsters are all out on the lookout, seeking to scam you and steal your money. EcoBank is saying that they are advising you be extra vigilant. Never trust any phone call or text message or email from anyone who is posing as a staff of EcoBank and assisting customers to update their bank details. Some of them will give you the impression that the bank will be calling you to ask for your account or card details, or help you link your Ghana card to your bank account, or offer unsolicited assistance. Please beware, these are fraudsters. They will try to gain your trust, persuade you to give out your best personal details. Always remember this, that the bank account details can only be updated at an EcoBank branch. EcoBank mobile app can only be upgraded at the EcoBank App Store or at the App Store or Play Store. And then linking your Ghana card can only be done at the bank branch or www.ecobank.com. So don't share your PIN, don't share your bank details, don't share your 16 digits or any number on your bank card to anyone. Report any such SMS, email, or phone calls to the EcoBank Contact Center and delete such messages immediately. Here is a toll-free number to call: 0800 003225. It's a toll-free number. And it's the birthday of a very good friend, Nyansa Papa Kwesi Sam Edu of Vine Christian School. It's a young man full of hope, full of dreams, and he brings joy to the family. He brings love to many. Nyansa, we love you so much. Happy birthday to you. Our prayer is for the Lord to continually order your steps so you grow in wisdom and understanding. May you grow to represent Christ well in all your endeavors. May the nations come to know Christ through your character and your utterances. This is coming from your parents, Dr. Abeku Sam Edu and Mame Ekia Gezi. Happy birthday, Papa Nyansa. We'll get into sports shortly, bring you updates and previews of what's about to happen. Week 3 reverse fixtures: Arsenal, Brighton, Man City, West Ham, Liverpool, Man United. so much happening. And Susu Graham is in the studio with all the details. Yes, but what do you have on your t-shirt? Keep calm and run.
Run DMC.
What's DMC?
Run DMC, they're like 1980s rap group.
Are you okay? All right. Let's start from home, right? Yeah. I think one of the big characters in football is Asamoah Gyan.
Yes.
What was he saying?
I mean, he had a lot to say. I think he was on Instagram Live. He was venting.
Yeah.
I think he had a lot to talk about. He talked about his relationship with Andrea Ayew. This has been a thing because of the whole issue with the captaincy. If you remember, around the AFCON 2019, Asamoah Gyan was made general captain.
Yes.
And Andrea Ayew was made the kind of on-the-pitch captain because it was like, Asamoah Gyan is the captain, but we don't expect Asamoah Gyan to play. So this was a kind of weird compromise they made. When the truth was, it looked like because Asamoah Gyan's time in the team was up, because I think after that AFCON, we didn't really see him again. His career came to an end. Then Andrea Ayew became captain anyway. So I think
that transition.
So I think that whole episode he wasn't happy about, which is why he went and had to kind of clarify their relationship. I think that's why he wanted to explain that it's not him and Andre, it's more like the people around Andre, if I remember correctly.
And then he made a point that people were brainwashed, people he helped were, I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like this is something we see a lot with athletes. It's like when you're no longer making that money, you're in a different position financially. The money is not coming as freely. People are going to change because a lot of people hang on because of the money you have. Now that the money is slower, it's more like you have investments and that kind of stuff. You're not as liquid. These are the type of things people would do. So I think it's like what Mahama even said, that the Christmas hamper stopped coming when he lost the election. I think something similar does happen to
I think the money stopped the flow, so they flow on Instagram.
So it's like, I think all of those things, that change in circumstance is part of why
I think he also he was trying to set a message that like people have betrayed him, and people, the word he used, people were brainwashed. People he helped were brainwashed, and eventually they all left the team one after the other.
Exactly, a lot of
so many things.
I think there was a lot. I think because of being captain is a big deal.
Yeah,
I think it's something a lot of players are very proud of. So I think that whole drama around
there was some politicking around it, right?
I think that's.
So he was saying on when he scored his 50th goal, we were not celebrating that. We were talking about his image on his captain band and things like that.
There was just a logo, I think that's football for you, because we talk about it all the time, and it just shows that a lot of these things get to the players. They might not say it in the moment, but
over
think
time,
about some of these things. He's been holding on to them for years.
That's true.
Yeah.
Does he need to see somebody? Like talk to a counselor, coach, or
that one? I think
you are not in the position.
I think it's a bit too early. If he keeps going on these runs,
then we can say that
it's okay once in a
while. Once a while, it's
to
okay.
free your mind and clear the air. It's okay.
So this weekend, though, we are looking at the reverse fixtures
of week 3.
Yes. Okay. So the first, Arsenal and Brighton.
Yes. So Arsenal and Brighton. If for our avid Premier League listeners, you remember that's the Declan Rice game where he was sent off for delaying the restart, which was a big deal at the time, because as we've seen so far in the Premier League, the only teams that have gotten red cards for that same type of issue are Arsenal, because it happened again with Leandro Trossard, I think a week later. So that's a very controversial one. So this time is a reverse fixture. Arsenal will go to Brighton.
Right.
Go to Amex. Brighton are in bad form. Arsenal don't have Bukayo Saka. They are trying to rejig their season. They look decent against Brentford, but it will be interesting to see how it plays out when they go to the Amex, because you don't know which Brighton will turn up. So they have to go there, try and win the game, keep up with Liverpool. So very interesting game to watch, and especially because of the past issues with Declan Rice in the first game, it will be a very interesting one to watch.
Interesting. So who are some of the players we are looking forward to feature in this particular game?
Well,
What's
of course,
going to be the strategy?
we have 2 Ghanaian players. So we have Thomas Partey and Tariq Lamptey.
Yeah,
one for Arsenal, one for Brighton.
Yeah,
we'll definitely be looking at. Then we'll be looking at the Arsenal replacement for Bukayo Saka. When they played Brentford on New Year's Day, they had Ethan Nwaneri, the 18-year-old, youngest player in Premier League history. He made his debut at the GTEC Stadium about 2 years ago. Made his first start at the same stadium. So that was a nice full circle moment. So it's very interesting to see whether he continues in the team or whether we see Leandro Trossard return to the team and so on and so forth.
Okay. Now there'll be Man City and West Ham as well.
Yes, and that was significant because Erling Haaland scored his second of back-to-back hat-tricks at versus West Ham in the first round. But since then, his goals have really dried up, and now Mohamed Salah has scored more goals than him. I think by the time we reached about game week 5 or game week 6, Haaland had about 11 goals. I think he has about 14 now, which shows how the goals have really dried up. But Man City are in a bad place, but West Ham are in a worse place. They lost 5-0 to Liverpool in their last match.
Man City are in a bad place, West Ham in a worse place.
Way worse place. I think West Ham, their season has not gone how they expected. They got a new coach. They were thinking that they'd kick on, move to the next level, challenge for Europe. But they seem to be doing very poorly. But again, that's another game with some Ghanaian interest, of course, because Mohamed Kudus is one of the top players for West Ham. So it's interesting to see how he performs against a weakened Man City team. But Man City, on the other hand, they feel like West Ham is a very winnable game because of the form they are in. And Erling Haaland will be hoping he can get another hat-trick here because the goals have really dried up for him in recent weeks. So he wants to kind of do something different and show his quality.
A step back, though, and look at the Arsenal game. Can they keep up the pressure?
I believe so. I think Brighton are really struggling to win. I heard a stat that if Brighton draw another game, I think it will be the Fabian Hetzler will be one of the few coaches to get 10 draws in his first 20 games. So it looks like they don't win a lot of games, but they don't lose a lot either. So they are difficult to beat, but they don't seem to be getting over the line.
How is Thomas doing? Is he in good shape? Is he going to play likely?
He's actually had his best Arsenal season since his first one, to be honest. He's been playing very well, but he's out of contract in the summer.
I see.
So it's an interesting position for him. He has to keep playing well because if you want a good offer, when your contract expires, if Arsenal renew you, another team comes from you have to keep playing well. If he stops playing well, he's not going to get a good offer.
Charlie,
so he's in a difficult position.
So I'm speaking from where I sit, where I don't follow football so much, right? But I hear so much of Thomas when he's in his club, but I've not seen much of him in the national team.
Well,
what's up?
Well, we understand he seems to have been suspended or excommunicated for a bit due to some differences with the coach.
Which coach? Otto Addo?
Yes, Otto Addo has questioned Thomas Partey's commitment, as we understand it, because there were some cryptic
messages. So the last
messages.
he was not called, eh?
Yes, because there was an incident where he felt he wasn't feeling well, and they wanted him to come in. He said, "I still don't feel well. I don't want to come in."
And people thought he chose his club over the
It's become a whole thing.
team.
So Otto Addo has basically implied he preferred to play without Thomas Partey for some time.
Wow, interesting. But then there will be Mo Salah in the big one. Can City gain momentum against West Ham, and will Salah have another big performance?
Manchester United.
Yes, sorry. Now I've jumped. I've gone.
The Manchester confused. I understand.
Manchester, Man City, and
exactly. Yes.
I see that.
So that's Liverpool, Manchester United. It's called the Northwest Derby in England because they are the two big teams in the Northwest. The cities have rivalries over shipbuilding. The football teams have rivalry over winning trophies. They are the two most decorated teams in England.
Right.
So it's usually a big game, but Man United are in very bad shape. I mean, if I remember correctly, they've lost about 4 of their last 5 or something like that.
Liverpool is on top of that.
Oh, yeah, Liverpool are flying. Everything is going well for them. The slot machine, as they call it, it just keeps giving them greens. The coins just keep coming out. So
they never work alone, no?
Exactly. Okay. So right now, Manchester United, if I remember correctly, they've lost their last 3 matches. They've lost. They also not scored a goal. So they're in very bad shape.
This is going to look interesting. I'd like to be flying on the wall in the home of the locals.
You mean for the Liverpool
Man City, because as you know, both sides support different teams.
Is Liverpool, and I am Manchester United, and I told Caleb yesterday
they better not win.
If Liverpool wins, somebody is not eating at home.
Oh, don't do that! Don't do that to him. It's not his fault. He's not the one.
No, when he's praying, you should pray well. You should say, dear God, I love Liverpool. Yes. I love my wife more. Don't let my wife's team win.
Oh, but that one, he's not the one. He can't do anything about that. That one.
So we wish both teams well. We'll see who will be smiling.
Okay. So that was some updates from the world of sports. Thank you, Susu Graham.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
You're looking for a bank to rely on. Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Wouldn't we say to bank if they no lie? Only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking, it's in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no many time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. The team in office is chilling, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Nobody feed you, I'm like us. First Bank, we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see yeah. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
Auntie T, I beg, fix me go betete Ghana. No gari, no oil, no plantain, just beans then eggs.
Hey, brah, that be dangerous combination, no.
Problem no day. I feel handle am.
For Telecel, with the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, you can get your own data and call packages. Fala! Made For Me bundles like the way you want them. That *530#, then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel, connecting energies. This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Oh, for real, Ponza, because this one Otola again.
Odro man nipa Jimmy, isn't it?
You say?
Odro man nipa Jimmy. Oh, you don't believe it?
Okay.
This one.
Oh my God.
Richard wants to challenge a thing. And you are hoping I'll say the trees are
No, he landed.
I've improved.
Oh, you are doing so well.
I hope my brothers and sisters at the other side have also improved with their gun.
Sunday what force me? Yes.
Yeah, my will not know you know. I say that.
I don't tell you to worry me.
Oh no, that one is too extreme. I can't do that to you.
Yes, I know Cassie.
Sano
Go back, gang.
Oh, Sano Mahambo Gagel.
Oh, Gagel.
Eba Poshito me. Kelo Pakpako. Oda. Ne Trombo
Gagel.
Hello. Kamisha Kesmomo. Chomboga.
No, the loneliness means what?
Low is fish or meat or
whatever. I thought you said has body.
Only your body. Only I can get girls your body. Oh, you get yaga. Okay, trailer.
Now come on, promise me a cool stay.
Now I'm a slim girl, I'm a slim girl. Mahambo girl, trailer, Russian tanker. Name me cheese. Oh, you get like any
Russia tanker. Before you know, Russia, Ukraine was ongoing at the best.
The positive one.
Yeah, oh, okay. So while we are at it, while VK is promising me, I will give you updates later whether or not she has delivered. I will give you the state of the nation. In the meantime, if you want to send money to the Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, it's much easier now. The Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems PAPS is where First Bank Ghana uses to help you do that. Receive money for personal and business purposes. All you need to do is to visit any First Bank Ghana branch nationwide with your cash, and your money is transferred in no time. If you want to receive money, all you will need is a First Bank Ghana account. There's another way we put you first. Call us on 0596-921-921 to find out more. And there is exciting news from Telecel. Get connected for less with our discounted MiFi device at an unbeatable price of only 500 Ghana cedis. Also get 10 gigabyte free data for all your internet connectivity concerns. It's a portable Wi-Fi solution from Telecel, and it got you covered. Perfect for seamless browsing, streaming, and staying connected on the go. Don't miss out on this limited time offer from Telecel today. Visit any Telecel retail shop to grab yours today. Telecel, connecting energies. I know you want a British degree at a fraction of the cost, and you want a vibrant student experience in a community that equips you with the useful employability skills, taking you to the career of your dreams. You can enjoy all these plus up to 50% scholarship for your degree at Lancaster University, Ghana, and you'll be taught by faculty trained to UK standards. For more information, visit www.lancaster.edu.gh. Email us at admissions at lancaster.edu.gh. The number is 020-960-7008. Lancaster University, Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
And
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
This must be one of your favorites.
This is actually one of my favorites, and it's a classic. Fits in any time.
Maria.
I love this song.
Maria.
It gets me smiling, dancing any day.
Maria.
Yeah. What is Amapino saying in the song though? What does it mean?
He's just professing his love for this Maria girl who he's saying he's gone through a lot, during the rain, during the sun, just to be with her. He loves her,
So really, he's toasting her.
Charlie?
He said, Hami Mobo. Hami Eko.
Nami Mobo. Nami Mobo.
So you should look me.
Feel at least. Consider me.
He's applying.
Let's look at it positively. Look upon me with favor.
Yes.
So he's applying for the role of majority leader. Look at me positively.
He's sweating because of her lachakoni chamiyo. Like
lachakoni chamiyo.
Yeah, because of you. Yeah. That's how Caleb would sweat over the guy girl will give him. Yomo guy.
Yeah, Yomo's best.
Sky is really doing well with the guy.
Oh no,
when teaching you.
No, when I first came to Accra, it was a Ghan man who brought me to Accra.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Numo.
And, it's when I it's a very emotional story for me. And, so I grew up. I grew up here in Accra, if you like, in the Ghan home.
Okay.
At Odoko official town.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, and all due respect to David Quarty.
Okay.
Lovely man, wonderful man. But for him, probably wouldn't even be sitting.
Oh,
in front of me.
Mr. Quarty.
Yes.
3 Town.
Yes. We actually met in 3 Town. I was basically a young boy who normally he was the chief driver for Omnibus Services Authority.
Oh,
OSA, yeah. So as a young boy, I would always go to his house, his room, help him tidy up the place, wash things for him, clean up the place, and I practically was his right hand man.
Oh,
very very
he's
young.
Still alive, right?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
alive.
Mr. Quarty. Then you got a job. If not for you, Charlie.
Okay.
No more council.
No more time. No.
So
Oh, God bless him and the Quarty family.
So they say, Sky, what is your Ghan name? Ni Aulai. What does that
which born are you? First, second, third, what?
As in my family.
Yeah. So
my mother's side, I'm the third born and the third and last
born in so there's Ajete Allah. The third, I think lie.
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 No, but today is the birthday of our favorite Maria, who has 9 as mobile owner.
Me, Aneta,
Yama,
Ogbo,
Yama,
Adusu.
Thank you.
That is proper Gaoma.
Yama.
Oyigi Yaga.
Correct one.
Kello.
Thank you.
Therefore,
Hey.
that body. Come on, shake it for me.
That's all the Ogbogbo Likiti.
And it's a real name.
Are you
Ogbo, yes, it's Adam for second girl. Ogbo is Owi is first girl for Adam, their lineage, and then the second girl is Ogbo.
That's right.
So the Ogbo name, no, it's a real name. Machine. Nah, you ever who?
No, okay, I think I understand that.
Yes,
when she come to pass,
you see that
you will know that God has fulfilled His promises. No,
no, call your papa. Hey, who you be?
Take you. No,
Koyo.
Koyo.
Koyo. There's some sweet wind blowing. Koyo.
When she passes, good wind will blow.
Yeah, that's right.
Proper window, not be the one for the place.
Lavender Hills.
No.
This is Koyo Papa.
Yeah, that's
Koyo
right.
Papa.
If you are not looking in her direction, when you pass,
you must look.
The wind will force you to turn around. What's happening?
Yeah, no.
She brings good tidings.
My father will say, hey, Miriano.
So where is this? What is going on? No, Sky, you have to pronounce some blessings on Ogbo.
Ogbo is a whole constituency on.
No, and a whole nation.
Advantage, what advantage, because advantage.
Thank you. Size bear.
Oh, that be the size bear. We are size here, BNA.
Bear, Sana, what do you?
Mobile.
Now, now, 10 years. What do you mean? How dare you?
Ogbo, God bless you.
Yes,
you do a lot of things to us, for us, and in the name of the lovely people of this particular brand.
Right.
And she's always behind the things, cooking and wonderful meals. Lovely, pleasant person to work with. And
Ogbo is the one we're busy with work, elections, and you can call her Ogbo, I'm hungry, and she will sort you out with properly cooked home meals.
Thank you.
Ogbo is the one that you call my car because she's deputy administrative manager. She'll take care of your car. Ogbo size babe. Proper chick. We love you, Ogbo. Happy birthday. We wish you good tidings 2025. She actually starts the year birthdays at Citi, right? Is she the first or no?
Yeah, unless there's somebody on the 1st of
January. I don't remember, but so Ogbo is the first who starts.
Oh, then the good tidings are going to flow.
Yeah, that's right.
But she for do action today.
Something for pride.
They have to perform.
Something for pride. Because they say the third son is Mensa. Or the Lai and Mensa are the same.
The third is Mensa.
Yes.
Okay. My side, I think it's Lai.
Okay.
I have to check.
Then I mean, that would align.
It's possible. I mean,
okay.
But
and they say the second son is Ajete and Allah.
No. Ajete is first son.
Okay.
At least my dad's lineage, Ajete, he was the first. Ajete.
Okay. Ajete.
So my Ajay. Some it depends, Ajay or Ajete, right? Or Lai. Okay, so Ajay, Allah.
Allah.
Then I think Lai. I'm still trying to.
Okay, so Lai is the second of Ajete. And Allah is the second son of Ajay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So no, but Sky is third.
Yes, I'm the third.
So that's not Lai or Ajay then.
Yeah, well, I mean that one.
I'll check. I'll check. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll check.
But I mean, in some other groups. So, for instance, there's You know, I know about Besan. They would Mensan, Besan. You see, they call it Besan.
So the third
if it is
son.
Mensan, then
That's
Besan, you
possible.
know. But they do
Don't
that
worry, but
sometimes.
before we leave you, I'll get you your rice gun name.
There you go.
With an alias attached to
That
it.
guy.
Proper one. Full one. So maybe we'll give
For now,
you
Brala
a
is
surname as
standing.
well. For now, it'll be like Brala.
So yesterday, I mean, one of the conversations we were having, one of the things that came up where Sky came in strongly to say he didn't foresee any change in the leadership in a minority, and even went on to suggest a new name that hadn't even come up. We later saw that the New Patriotic Party had its meeting, the council, National Executive Council, held a meeting, and there was a press release that came out subsequently announcing how the leadership of the minority side in the 9th Parliament will look like, and then also making us aware that they've put together a committee to investigate their loss, come up with recommendations. So, I mean, we have a wide resources of very, grounded, intelligent listeners, and we can solicit some of their views for them as well. But put together, I have the list of the 11 member committee chaired by Right Honorable Professor Michael Quay, who would be serving as the chairman. Emerita Professor Ya Intiamwa Badu is the member. She will be serving as a member. Professor Kofi Osei Akoko is a member as well. Professor Samuel Bet Bodikusi is a member. Dr. Felix Yamoa is a member as well. Dr. Joseph Ejapon Damoy is a member. Mr. F.F. Anto is one. Kweku Domfe is one. Honorable Gifty Kusi is a member. Honorable Abdullahi Abanga is a member. Seidu Nasigri Esquire is a member. And William Yamwa is a member and secretary. So this committee is constituted as an election review committee to conduct a post-mortem on the party's participation and performance in the recently concluded 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections, and to make appropriate recommendations. Then onwards, we are told the committee is expected to engage all party stakeholders and the general public on its terms of reference and submit a comprehensive report to the party within 3 months. Now, the report of the committee shall set the stage for the party's reflections, rebuilding, and restructuring efforts in order to bounce back stronger for the next general election. The party implores all stakeholders, particularly executives and members of the party, to cooperate with the review committee and give the members all the needed support as well as assistance. In a related development, the National Council has, pursuant to Article 14 Clause 2 of the NPP Constitution, selected leaders of the party's parliamentary group for the 9th Parliament. Leaders include 1. Honorable Alexander Kwame Apanyo Marking, Minority Leader. 2. Honorable Patricia Priye, Deputy Minority Leader. 3. Honorable Anodompre, Minority Chief Whip, and Honorable Habib Idrisu, First Deputy Minority Whip, and Honorable Jerry Ahmed Shaib, he is the Second Minority Whip. And statement is signed by Justin Kodia Frimpong, General Secretary. I'm sure our listeners would love to have a bite and let the party know what they think led to the defeat of the party. The line to send us your message at any point is 0549 986 996. I think at some point we might open the phone lines or accept your voice notes. For voice notes, you can send them through 0549 986 996. But we will start with the composition of the committee that has been set up to review the party's performance in the just ended elections and also make recommendations. Who are some of the people and what are they going to bring to this particular committee? First, we know Professor Aaron Michael Quay, former Speaker of Parliament, former two-term Member of Parliament for Dom Kwabenya, and he's a Reverend Minister as well. He's a professor. He taught at the Department of Political Science. It was
actually my lecturer at the point.
Oh, he taught you?
Political science.
Oh, he taught you?
Yes, briefly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've experienced him then
I've
closely?
experienced him. Great historian, great political scientist at the time. And remember that I've lived in Ahacho a bit.
Oh,
So
I've at the time was it the MP
yes,
while
he
you
was the MP.
So he was teaching and
no, he finished.
Okay, so
after.
before.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fact that
when did he
was,
teach you?
Oh, why? You want everybody to see how old I am?
Oh, no.
Anyway, I'll be 45 on the 15th of January. If that will make you happy.
It's a party after party, man. 15th of January.
Yes, sir.
No, we will kill. What do you want? Do you want cats? You want dog?
China, cow.
You want dog?
Cow.
Cats?
Cow.
Okay.
Cow.
We'll sort that out. It's not a problem. So Prof
thought you. Yeah, Prof thought me briefly before I believe he moved fully to politics proper. And then I experienced him as well as a member of parliament.
Right, because you lived in his constituency in
Hacho at the time. And that was a time that it was a serious MPP constituency, majority of the people towing towards the MPP, line. And then subsequently he became speaker and all that. It's fair to say that now we can describe him as a statesman. And it's not surprising that he's being made to lead the team that will investigate the reasons why the MPP, lost the elections. I believe at a point we'll talk about the reasons why we feel that they lost. But I think the team is an interesting one. Yeah. I'm seeing the likes of FF Anto, and then what's my list?
So there is Professor Emerita Professor Ya Entiamwa Beidu, Professor Kofi Ose Akoko, Professor Samuel Bat Bwedikusi, Dr. Felix Yamwa, Dr. Joseph Japon Damoy. There is FF Anto, as you mentioned, Kweku Domfe, Honorable Gifty Kusi, Honorable Abdullah Abanga. Fred, who are some of these people? Which of them do you know?
So, Professor Ya Ntiama Bwedu is the chairperson of the Committee for
Emoluments.
Yes, he has been chairing that particular committee. She's also the chairperson for the Millennium Development Authority. If it comes to her background, she once served as Pro Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana.
Okay.
I think she retired in 2011.
Right.
Yes. So that's been her background. She's been within the governmental system for a while. Led the Emoluments Committee, meeting people across the country. Because of her job as chairman of the Emolument Committee, this particular Emolument Committee set up by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo went around the country meeting different stakeholders. So I'm sure it's part of the reasons why she has been put as part of the members of this committee, looking at the fact that she's been engaging a lot of people over the last 2 years.
Right.
So she may have some understanding as to what the people are looking for, what people are thinking in terms of governance.
Right.
So I'm sure that's the reason why she has been put
I've
as part of
encountered
this.
before. She was at the Center for African Wetlands at the University of Ghana. It's now called Center for Biodiversity, Conservation and Research. And she taught me, gave me some insights into our wetlands and why it's important to conserve them. So that's a academic background as well. And then so she's played a key role as an academic, and then at the state or national level, she's been key in critical state, business.
Exactly.
Basically.
Exactly.
Okay, sure.
Exactly.
So who else do we know on this committee?
Professor Kofi Ose Akwaku.
Who's he?
Professor Kofi Ose Akwaku is with the KNUST.
Okay.
His area of specialization is in social development, sociology of organizational behavior, human resource management, and gender development.
Right.
So that's his specialty. We don't know so much about him when it comes to his affiliation and his politics.
Okay.
But then just on his background, having to do with organizational sociology and everything, would play a very significant role in this kind of committee.
Okay.
How people's behavioral attitudes, how to manage human resource and everything. This would play a big role in this committee and the work of the committee.
Right. Another name I find familiar on the list is Professor Samuel Bet Bwedikusi. He's with the University of Cape Coast.
Yeah.
He's played leadership roles in their University Teachers Association, UTAG. I think he's the president now. He's been the president. In the past, present. He's the Dean of the Office of International Relations. He's an optometrist. He's been at the Department of Clinical Optometry. He's very vocal also when it comes to lecturer unions, welfare, and also when there are labor agitations and all of that, you get to hear him a lot. So I guess for such a defeat, you need an optometrist who will look into the issues.
But you know, with his politics in the last, during the MPP primaries, he was part of the committee put together to vet the MP parliamentary aspirants. So he was with Frank Davis and other people in the Western region. So that's him when it comes to his politics. That's has been his involvement with the MPP, recently being part of the vetting committee for parliamentary aspirants in the Western region.
That's interesting. Who else do we have here?
Dr. Felix Yamwa.
Who's he?
He's a cardiologist in Germany, but he's also the chairman of the Germany branch of the MPP. So he will be representing the international branch on the committee.
The committee is tight. You have an optometrist, you have a cardiologist, you have a wetland specialist, you have a political scientist. Then there's
also okay, you go on.
Yeah, I think you mentioned Felix Yamwa, right?
Yes.
And then there is FF Anto Sky.
Yes.
Who's this man?
FF Anto is a former executive, position holder.
Yes, he was Ashanti Regional Chairman.
And
then a National Vice Chairman.
Yeah, and his pedigree within the party is very rooted. He's one of the people whose voices matter within the MPP, and his influence and the level of respect for him is unquestionable. You do know that the Ashanti region performed rather uncharacteristically for the MPP, if you like to use that characterization. And the question is whether a lot was done to get the Ashanti side of things right. It would seem that did not happen. And if you want to do a post-mortem, you want to do a surgery as to determine what exactly killed the party's fortunes in that region and nationally. I believe a man of his stature would play a huge part in helping figure out what exactly went wrong, given his own experience in the region, and then also his influence in the region and also nationally.
Right. Now let me pick your thoughts, all of you, ladies and gentlemen, on the selection of the chairman himself, Right Honorable Professor Aaron Michael Quay. I mean, concerns have come with respect to, in terms of his capabilities, in terms of his pedigree. No doubts have come up on that, but people feel that for such a daunting task, you have to travel across the country and do very far-reaching work that is going to take a toll. They're thinking about vitality issues, and then even issues with respect to something that the performance of his son in Dom Kwabenya, he being a former MP, former speaker, and the fortunes of the party in a constituency that has been predominantly blue, now turning green at the parliamentary level for the first time. They feel that
that's a good one, because he's experienced defeat. He's experienced, not him, but the party. He's experienced wins and all that, and he's coming from, like you said, a constituency or run a constituency where it's been deep blue, now it's gone to the greens, and then his son was involved in that election. I'm sure by now his son will be trying to do an assessment or reflection of what led to the defeat, why they flipped, if he doesn't know already, because I'm sure most people in the constituency have an idea why they lost. I mean, during the time that the elections were about to happen, we went to that constituency a number of times, especially when the former MP, Adjoa Safo's, trouble started, and the things that were said by the constituents. They felt that she had abandoned them and all that. They were not happy with the party because they felt that the Domi Kwabenya constituency is a deep blue, and they were not getting as much. There were a lot of projects that had been abandoned. They have one one of the terrible roads in that constituency that they felt should have been done. The market women were not happy.
Yeah.
They believe there were a lot of things that should have been done and all that. If you go to the areas where you have the residential parts as well, they believe issues of security, issues of road network, all that. So the constituency in a whole were not happy with the fact that this is one of your key constituencies, actually the biggest with the numbers.
Absolutely.
And over the years, if you look at the election petition where Baumia became a star, it was the star constituency that everybody was using. It was at that time that Adra Safo came to the fore, that everybody saw that, oh, this is a promising politician we're seeing. This woman has so much going on for her and all that. So you think that they'll put in so much in that constituency, but they didn't see that. Within the party itself, the MPP, they had their own troubles between Adra herself and Mike Okwe and all that. The issue of imposition of Mike Okwe Jr. on, the people. Then, of course, Adra came to win, and then later Mike Okwe came to win, and then we got to this point. So his son himself not being able to hold that constituency for the party, I'm sure is something they've looked at, and that is the true, coloration of what we're seeing across the nation.
Right.
Why they are losing the blues to the greens, or the blues, the color is reducing. So that's the key one, and even easy one for him at home.
Okay.
The issue of moving around, I mean, really, that I don't see that as a big deal.
Okay.
There are 11 people in that. It's not everywhere he has to go. It's not some of the things that will come to him and all that. But okay, I don't want to move into the issues of the reasons why we're looking at the personality. So I think Honorable Michael Kwe is a fine one. He's been Speaker of Parliament, dealt with all the MPs, run the House. He's been had a lot of positions in the party proper, as one of their top guys now and all that. So I think he really understands the MPP issues.
So he'll bring his years of experience and weight to the...
I think he's somebody, and Sky, you can tell me, I think it's a unifier. Is he seen as a unifier?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. Look, the pedigree of Professor Michael Kwe is not in doubt.
Question.
It's a solid, historian, political scientist, a reverend for that matter, lawyer. As Vivian rightly stated, headed Parliament previously as the Deputy Speaker and later became the Speaker of Parliament. Of course, he was seeking re-election when matters having to do with how some people felt towards him from his own side sort of led to a betrayal of his cause, because he wanted to gain re-election as Speaker of Parliament, to repeat the feat first chalked by D.F. Annan under the Fourth Republican Constitution when he was repeated as Speaker after the 1996 elections. Now, because it was felt that he was not so much liked by some of his own people, his candidature suffered. There was a slim vote, that went against him, and he lost the speakership. Now, of course, my understanding is that hurt the president, because the president was looking to have someone else named speaker due to a number of concerns. But there was a strong point made by some other party, big guns, that look, you can't take this away from first of all, Professor Michael Kwe, given his pedigree.
I mean, a moment. The president wanted someone else as Speaker, but there was a strong push for Speaker Okwe to be kept, and then he narrowly then lost.
Yeah, that's right.
So that whole
so the party people, MPs, were camped to ensure that nobody went rogue. But somehow, after the camping at Alisa, a related place, the people went rogue, and I wouldn't name the person who was being considered strongly. Of course, some people have put some names in the public domain, but the point is that some people felt that he had not done
executed
because of his involvement in that same constituency and related matters, and some other matters having to do with how he was running Parliament. But I mean, he also distinguished himself as a Speaker of Parliament in many respects. I mean, now we talk about private members' bill, before Parliament and passing them into law. Previously, the position was that, look, this should come from the executive. If it's not from the executive, it will impose a cost on the public purse. He took an entirely different view and furthered that course. And then eventually it's now the order of the day, although some aspects of it are matters the courts are having to look into. But the point I want to make is that, to respond to your question, yes, he has a huge stature. He has a huge stature. He's very well respected. But some people,
felt that someone else should have spearheaded this so-searching committee.
In part, also crippled the business of government in Parliament. Because you now had a speaker coming in from the opposition, a respected individual, assertive individual, someone who's been in Parliament since 1993, was leaving Parliament to get something else to do, and then now brought in because of the almost even nature of the numbers in Parliament, got into the race, and then emerged as a speaker. But to deal with the other aspects of what we're discussing, that does not take anything away from him.
Right.
I mean, to be able to preside over Parliament for 4 years, that should count for something. Now, chairing a committee is not one that involves
legwork.
Not necessarily. I mean, even if it is legwork, I mean, you can always be transported to the place. I mean, he ran Parliament for 4 years. That should count for something. Of course, I appreciate the issues that are raised about maybe he's aged and he may be slow, but his mind is still sharp. He's a lawyer. I mean, lawyers sometimes work into their hundreds. Even once the mind is still very. The question is whether his mind is there.
Professionals work into their hundreds.
Oh no! I mean, majority. Have you seen the carpenter climbing?
I know a mason who has
climbing at 100.
Roofed a house at 100. Every day you lawyers, you are.
No, well, I'm speaking for what I know, and the records, show that. So the point I'm making is that on the basis of that, once his mind is still very sharp, and he can, and that experience is also very necessary, because it is that experience that will be useful in determining whether what you are hearing is hopeless and that you don't want to work with it or not. So sieving the chaff from the real matters. I mean, I do not believe that it is just because of his own problems within that constituency.
Because Fred, I'm looking at the last committee the NDC set up. I'm looking at who chaired, and if you look at the pedigree, it's like the person must be someone who commands the respect and confidence of the people.
Caleb, when a party loses an election heavily like this,
emotive,
there are two things which happen. It's either there are people who believe that let the party chart a new path, or let them go back to their roots. And usually the argument of going back to your roots would overshadow the charting a new path, because you want to go with what you know, and rather than what you do not know. So you look at the NDC, like you mentioned, for example, in 2016 after their loss, there was an argument of, why do you bring Kwesi Botwe? Kwesi Botwe, who had been in the party for long, left at a point. Leave? I mean, he was out of the scene for a long time.
Yeah, but he did not leave.
He wasn't
active. He was very not active, out of the scene for a long time. At a point when the NDC was in some kind of trouble, where there were disagreements, where you had what's his name, Obed Asamoah, the Mills election in
Obed Asamoah left the party.
Yes, Obed Asamoah with the Mills election in 2006. You remember that there was the Kwesi Botwe to contest Mills at the time where everybody felt like, look, let Mills go. So you look at that background of Kwesi Botwe, then how he then came and found himself in an active role within the NDC after the Mills victory. His role he played and everything. When the party lost and they wanted to go back to their roots, instead of charting a new path, they went for somebody with experience, somebody who had been there from the formation of the party till where they got to in 2016. And I think that is what the MPP has done with Michael Okwe. Michael Okwe had been there from the formation. He has a rich background when it comes to politics. He understands the Ghanaian political system. Yes, there are people who say that, look, that political system you knew 20, 30 years ago has seen a lot of changes. Are you abreast with these new changes? But you see, as an old professor who knows what he is about, who knows his stuff, who continues to read, would give you a better understanding. And don't forget, like Sky said, he's been part of governance till last 4 years. He was a member of parliament. He was a speaker, deputy speaker. He was speaker. He's even chaired the MPP committee during the presidential elections, their primaries. So he's someone who really understands the ins and outs of the party,
right,
who has already had engagement with so many branches of the party when he was chairman of the committee that had to run the primaries. You know, at the time they had to go around the country to be dealing exactly, and you had to solve all those things. So I think that Michael Okoye is best placed when you even look at the MPP structure now and the kind of people the MPP have. Yes, they have a lot of people, a lot of respected persons, but I think Michael Okoye stands out for this particular job.
Also, because when I look at the composition,
I want to also add that look, if you understand how the Evers came from Noche to the Anglo areas and related communities and all of that, the story is told and it's legend that they hid an elderly man in the bushes, right?
Okay.
So that when things were happening and the younger ones couldn't actually comprehend what was happening and was the king Agokoli was doing, whether it was to their detriment or to their benefit, things they did not understand. They went into the bush to actually consult this elderly person, right? And it was through his advice, direction, counsel,
that they were able
to conceive the idea of pouring wastewater on the high walls of Noche in those days, as to cause the clay to eventually, the erosion that eventually allowed them to actually push the wall down.
And to also walk backwards.
To leave. Okay. The point I'm trying to make with this is that, look, yes, we appreciate the power of youth. I do not discount the point that, look, there's the need for perhaps people who are more, active, more agile, more youthful, who can, who have a lot of energy to be out there and get to understand the issues and all of that. But, if the legend of the movement of the people of, Abelan, from Noche to the Anglo and Keta areas and Adafiengu areas is anything.
I was waiting for how this would end because
then I think it is proper that they have someone with rich wisdom to be able to steer the affairs.
Right, and then the understanding also is that it's a committee that is fairly comprising of young people as well, who are lecturers, researchers, so then they're able to do all the fact checking, the data collection. You have younger lecturers and people who are in the prime of their profession, so they can bring their energies and their competencies to the fore with respect to the fact-finding mission of the NPP into their what has been described as the rather embarrassing defeat in the just ended election. So I think that's it. The others, their members, we will get to know
someone
them.
like Gifty Kusi.
Honorable Gifty Kusi,
former MP, a former deputy minister for Western Region. She also has a lot of experience when it comes to politics in this country. So for me, seeing
Western Region is interesting due to the huge losses.
Looking at what happened within the Western Region in the election, it's important to have somebody like Gifty Kusi there who has played different roles within the region for the party. So I think that Gifty Kusi's addition is a very good one. You have Abdullahi Abanga, he's current MP for Binduri.
Right.
Usually when you form some of these committees,
you
need
have
the present MPs, sitting MPs to be involved, because when a party is in opposition, really there are forces in parliament. And it's parliament where they lead a fight. So having an MP who would be part of this committee, who could give feedback from the parliamentary caucus, is also one you cannot push aside. So having a sitting MP in there is also a very good one.
Right. And the fact that he's coming from the northern side, Upper East, right?
There must
we
be a
saw
representation,
the numbers on the northern side. Especially the interest there is especially because the candidate was coming from that part of the region, right? So it's interesting to know or his thoughts when he's doing whatever he's expected to do.
His
around
findings
that area.
from those areas.
What really led, because the candidates prior to him, who is not even from that side, did much better. If you look at the numbers, if you go to our election website, so all of them have something that they are coming in with, and like Fred and Sky were saying, the backgrounds of the MPs also help. Most of their MPs were booted out, so it's it is what it is.
With the left, like,
I mean, look at Greater Accra, just 3. That's so wrong.
Yeah.
Western Region has 2.
Just 2.
Single 2.
Yes.
Wow.
So the
single 3. Single 2.
When you go to Bono, I have 4. Bono East 1111.
That's a PEM.
And the regions they are 000.
Yeah.
So the parliamentary, part of these personalities is also very important.
Anyway, but I think ultimately what will vindicate the decision made yesterday will be a report that should truly reflect how bad things were, why they performed so badly. There should not be any basis to sweep things under the carpet.
Right.
You understand? Because look, we saw it with the NDC when they lost the 2016 elections and came in with the Kwesi Botwe committee and had also very powerful, influential persons on that committee. They did an open surgery, although they had,
their final report,
exactly what they were doing. People came out and spoke their hearts out as to what they felt was wrong with the campaign of John Dramani Mahama for re-election, the people who were hanging around, and how things went so badly. A report was produced, recommendations were made. Of course, we heard about details of some of the recommendations made, but the full report we did not see.
Yeah.
And we were since told that the NDC managed to use that report, the recommendations in it, to actually further their interest in subsequent elections. Of course, the 2020 elections did not go their way.
But they performed well in the parliamentary election.
Right. They performed better. Yeah. And in fact, some people feel that all kinds of things happened. That was how come we had an almost even parliament without, they having the upper hand and all of that. But the point is that they learnt lessons. And there were wise men who guided the process, although there were younger people. It is important to understand that the MPP didn't just drop from the sky, right? Some people came together exactly to form it. And there are principles that guide what the party does. So there are people you hear in the NDC and in the MPP who say that party no idea. You understand? Those are people who invested their time and resources. At the time when you could not look into the eyes of J.J. Rawlings and say, hey, my friend, what you are doing is bad or blah, blah, blah. They were the people who led the process. Now, those people, the wisdom that guided the establishment of the MPP should count for something. I see a lot of people write all kinds of things about these people.
Right.
Merely because today you happen to be a supporter of the party.
I think they are bleeding.
No, you see, it is fair to say that, you think that you want to see... some diversity, which is okay. I agree with that. The question is, why, for instance, from the list, the names I've heard, I've not heard anybody from the Volta region. Of course, unless maybe the names are not Volta sounding enough. But that is a region that you should be looking at exploiting or exploring.
But at the moment, in terms of the gains and the
you
losses,
have a certain tag that the party is oriented in a certain way. In an attempt to remove that tag, you brought in Dr. Baumia, right? Which is to create the impression that, look, we have opened up. We are no longer, confined to a certain group of people. And you want to delve into deeper areas. The likes of Courage Koshiga were there. Perry Okujeto, the mother, all of these people have played their part. Now, are we saying that Peter Amewu.
So it's likely that in the soul-searching mission, because they don't have representation from such parts or groupings, I'm sure the women will also say we've not seen enough women because it's only gifted.
These are fair points. It has to be inclusive. You understand?
Let me take you through the list of what the NDC had. The people, when Professor Kwesi Botwe chaired that soul-searching committee, you had the likes of Edward Duaja, who was the outgoing Speaker of Parliament at the time. Alhaji Hudu Yaya was on that committee. Naval Captain Asasi Jima was on. William Ahaji, who's the Director of Research at the NDC's headquarters, he was on that committee at the time. Yes. Thank you. Ibrahim Zubeiru was a lecturer at the Accra Technical University and a member of the NDC. Razak Abu was a researcher at the NDC's Development Challenge. Juliana Azuma Mensa, Barbara Sewa Asamoah, and then 4 members of the NDC Parliamentary Caucus, including the minority leader. So these were the people who...
Yeah, so you heard the names of, former members of Parliament, former Speaker, Finance Minister of great repute.
Some of the cadres.
Although some people blame him for all kinds of things. Some of the cadres. You see, the cadres of the NDC, they are close to the core of the party. In fact, some will tell you that they are the soul of the NDC. And so when they speak with a certain authority, a certain understanding of the roots of the NDC, what the principles are. Of course, you find people, diverge from those principles today when they do the things they do. You find the same thing in the MPP. But those people are a guiding light as to what the NDC was formed to do.
Right.
It was birthed out of a certain realization that, look, politics should be about affecting the ordinary people, not empowering a few to enrich themselves for their own benefits, for the benefit for people around them, cronies and family people, that it is for all of us. You understand? So when those people are part of the soul searching, as you put it, to find out what actually went wrong, it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
The same way, if you find those people who were there from the beginning, being a part of the process to audit what actually went wrong, I do not think that there is anything particularly wrong. Of course, there's a case to be made for, as I insist, inclusion, diversity, to ensure that it is representative enough. Also to ensure that the younger people, they are younger, they are youthful enough as to understand what social media is about, what the youth today are thinking about. But again, even that, you can take it, you can work on it if you are able to open up to listen to people with diverse views on what went wrong on social media.
In the same release from the NPP's meeting, the National Council's meeting yesterday, they make us know what the leadership of the minority in the 9th Parliament will look like. So I'll come back. I'll just go through a few important announcements. I'll come back to that. And Sky, you give us the backstory as well, what went on yesterday. But I'll also let you give this committee some free consultation. You're also Ghanaians, we are journalists, and we must have seen what must have gone on, heard or spoken to a lot of people. Listeners, please, you're also invited into the conversation. 0549 986 996. What do you think accounted for the NPP's excruciating defeat in the just ended general elections? We will come to that shortly, and I'll be happy to take your views on that. In the meantime, make the holidays unforgettable. Treat your family and friends to a celebration at the African Regent Hotel. Join us daily to enjoy delightful welcome drinks, mouth-watering delicacies, and soothing melodies in a relaxed atmosphere throughout the festive season. All at unbeatable offers. Plus, take advantage of our special holiday accommodations for a complete getaway experience. Come for an unforgettable performance this and every Friday at Zong inside the African Regent Hotel from 6 p.m. And just in case the NPP wants space equipped for conference meetings and events for their association meetings, African Regent has space for all those kind of meetings.
Accommodate everybody.
Everybody is invited. Yeah. So call or WhatsApp 0268 265 386 or 0302 765 180. Make your reservations today. Email us on mkt@african-regent-hotel.com. African Regent Hotel, simply Afropolitan. Merry Christmas from all of us at Zenith Bank. I'm sure it should be Happy New Year by this time. So enjoy the festive season and the rest of it with the support of Zenith Bank's bouquet of electronic banking products and services. Remember to use our digital banking channels for quick and easy access to your money. Dial *966# for easy banking or use the Zenith mobile banking app, Z Mobile, to carry out your banking transactions anytime, anywhere. We wish you a joyous Christmas, Happy New Year, Zenith Bank, in your best interest. Charlie, the enjoyment is real. from January to June 2025, Enterprise Insurance is giving you more reasons to smile on the road. Buy or renew your existing motor insurance policy and enjoy amazing rewards, free fuel coupons for your car and airtime for your phone. It is that simple. Insure, not chilling. With over 100 years of trusted experience, we are here to secure your peace of mind. So visit any branch, connect with your insurance agent or broker, or use the Enterprise Advantage app for convenience and enjoy free fuel coupons, airtime, and airtime instantly when you buy or renew your motor insurance. Enterprise Insurance is rated AAA by the GCR for financial strength and claims paying ability. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise, your advantage. Time check is 26 after 8. And I have some messages here. Caleb, I remember Beth as SRC president, at UCC in 2007-2008. He helped the authorities close the Casford market. We were walking to his room naked every morning for him to feed us. The guy suffer brutal. I see. So this is Doc you're talking about, the UCC UTAC man, who's a lecturer as well, who is on the committee. Sky, you're full of wisdom. Who represents the youth on this NPP committee? And you ended there. He's not too happy with the young people who are on the committee. Back to my colleagues in the studio. I'm struggling to say colleagues because, Sky, Vivian. No, you're a big man.
No, don't say that.
Vivian, if I go to say, Charlie, give me leave, she said, no, Charlie, are they here? So these are my bosses.
Don't do that.
These are my bosses.
We are your colleagues.
On this committee, you are the chairman of the committee.
We are your colleagues.
We are siblings.
We are your colleagues.
And in any case, we are listening government.
Better still, for purposes of this show, we are your colleagues.
Very well. Very well noted. So back to my colleagues in the studio. Let's do free consultation for the MPP. I think that every day on the Citi Breakfast Show, face to face, point blank, eyewitness, wherever you go, it has always been feedback upon feedback to the NPP government, led government, to the extent that a lot of people feel the defeat was a vote of no confidence in the administration, and to the extent that, of course, the administration came on the ticket of the party, you would think that the party has always had the information and should have always known. It turns out that perhaps when people are in power, the interests are conflicting, and listening to all the divergent views might be difficult. I recall your conversation, Sky, with the Ashanti Regional Chairman, Western Regional Chairman of the NPP, and it was very revealing, the kind of distress people had harbored. It was clear that people had been speaking for a long time. They were just not being heard, and the factions were just too many. And then you had the Alan part happening. And if you look at the NPP in Parliament, you look at the defeat, it's massive. And you look at Dr. Baumia's performance, how can the party get here? It's deep it's a tough one to swallow. But let me start from Fred. Has the party failed itself by perhaps acquiescing to the authority of the people who were on its ticket, who formed the government?
I think that's one of the major issues the party faced, and I think it's not just the NPP. When it looks like when a party wins power to form a government, what happens is that every concentration is now on the government. The party seems abandoned. Then what happens is that the government controls the party instead of the party whipping the government into line. So you look at 2016, 2012, 2016, what happened within the NDC, where people believe that, look, the government was doing everything. The party did not really have the power. They were not given the free hand to operate.
So a few people had hijacked
the party. I think it's the same thing which happened with the MPP. But this time around with the MPP, there was one major issue. You even look at leadership. the party leadership. Look at the personalities who are leading the party from the regions to the constituency, all the way to the national.
Right.
The caliber of people. We are not saying this group of people are bad, but you see, you look back at the MPP
and you compare.
Years back, and you compare the names, the personalities,
what they stood for,
who were running the party at the time, and what they stood for, and the authority of which they stood to say and take certain actions. You understand? And you come back and you look at the current crop of leaders of the MPP. For example, you have a government led by a very strong president who decides to take a particular action which may affect the party or is affecting the party. Who amongst the leadership would stand up against the president and say, Mr. President, we respect you, but this you are doing is wrong. This action you are taking will not help us. You have a party where you have a lot of MPs standing up against the president and telling the president that we wanted a particular minister removed.
90 MPs?
Yes, wanted a particular minister removed because his actions were not helping us. They were not helping us as MPs and the party. You had a president who said, "Look, I disagree with you. I don't think what you guys are saying is right. Go aside. I stick to my decision." And you have
I think the language was, look, I'll take your concerns on board. For now, give me time to.
We can.
The conclusion of the matter.
We can massage it to look.
No, for the record. As to what happened.
Now the party is in opposition. We are telling them the truth. Let us tell them the truth.
But the Apia could be the one you.
Andy,
yeah, he said.
He made it very clear what happened in the
happened.
No, you see.
The man refused to grant them their wish. He told them, "I'll listen to you, get back to you, but after that."
Okay,
the record show, according to they themselves.
Yes.
That, look, first they wanted to meet the man. He didn't want to meet anybody. That, look, why I'm running my government, what's your business? Then there was this press conference by the 94 or so we were told. Then that forced a call for a meeting. And at that meeting, he apparently heard them. And what was reported from the meeting,
so it took that press conference for them to get heard. So in all, you could say that the position largely was one that was not accommodating.
What I was trying to prevent was what appears to be a quote of what the man said.
Okay,
you understand? Which would not be fair to the record.
That is fair.
That's all.
So we can. But the conclusion of the matter was that
what he dragged from.
I will do what I want to do.
He did what he wanted to do.
Precisely.
He did what he wanted to do as president.
Yes.
You did not have a party with strong personalities. You had executives of the party. You had a national chairman. You had a general secretary. You had a national organizer. And none of them could tell the president that, look, Mr. President, our MPs were on the ground. At least they had our ears on the ground. Listen to what they are saying. Take a decision. Maybe they might have said it, but we never heard it. We never heard it.
That's in the leadership.
The leadership of the party
was tamed.
You never heard it. There are so many things which happened within the party. At a point where you see the general secretary having to issue statements telling people to go to constituencies to campaign.
Yeah.
No actions were taken.
Yeah.
You understand?
I recall that.
You see, the MPP has a weak leadership as we speak now compared to their former leadership.
Stephen Intim is their chairman.
Yes.
You don't think that he could speak to the president if things were not going well?
He's a good man.
Yes.
He's done well with his life as a businessman.
But I don't think he had the kahunas.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Which is unfortunate because it took him so long to get to the position of chairman. So you would have thought that when he got the position, he would have gone all out. He comes across as a laid-back, cool. You know, there are certain people who are laid-back, quiet, but when they speak,
very firm,
they really, make a point. I'm not sure that's with what we saw with him. during these times of, you see maybe the president going a certain way, and somebody had to step in and say, Mr. President, this should be done this way or not. If you look at the General Secretary, I'm not sure he could step up and say another laid back. If you look at the Vice Chairman, all of them, they come across. But I remember when we were young, the likes of Peter Lajite, Darocha and all that, they'll tell you in the face, right? But we are not seeing that with this current crop of leadership of the
But at the
and I think that's the first problem.
At the regional level, I thought I saw leadership that were very bold and could speak their mind, like and were very loud. If you take Ashanti region, okay, not to challenge, not to. I'm not saying that they were loud. They were loud. You saw
with the greatest respect. While I argue strongly for diversity and inclusion,
there's a caveat here.
It would seem that what we've seen over the last 4 years or so from the Ashanti region is bad fit for the NPP as a brand.
Oh, right.
Because the party has been consistently positioned as one that the finest of the brains of the tradition should lead, right? As to inspire other people to achieve the ultimate purpose of establishing this political party. Lead, get political power, lead for people to use their own wisdom, supported by the state, to be able to acquire prosperity and property for that matter. Do you understand? But, and that's why you would have seen B.J. Darocha was an intellectual of immeasurable repute. Peter Alajete, vast legal colossus.
Udoe Sykes and all
Udoe Sykes. These were proper heavyweights. Apia Minka, an industrialist of great repute.
Remember Apia Minka, at a point when the party was going off, he would speak publicly.
That's right. Dr. Mwako Tufo, Nyaho Tamas, I mean, Professor Fred Sa. I mean, so if you move, you see, that's why I still go back to the core. If you move from the core of the party, these were the intellectuals who came together, the industrialists, the people who thought that every Ghanaian with the power to think, aspire to get greater things, should be able to work and acquire property without the intrusion of the state. Right?
Correct.
You understand? So this whole business of property owning, that thing
that's
talk
where
about,
it comes
because they felt that the regime of J.J. Rawlings was intruding into people's businesses and doing all kinds of things, and that they wanted to get to the core, how the party was established. Then they go back to Nkrumah, the state should lead, and then they believe that the state should be limited in how it does things in affairs of people. Now, if you move from the intellect, with the greatest respect, to where you seem to have rabble-rousers taking over, leadership of the party in crucial regions
DC.
I've not mentioned any names.
I get it. I'm just trying to look at the...
No. Let's stay on the point I'm making. I'm capable of mentioning names, but I've not mentioned any names.
That's
yet.
okay.
What I'm saying is that appears to be a clear departure from what we have known the NPP to be. And it would seem that the party has paid the price for moving away from what would have been pure intellectual engagement while accommodating other shades of opinions, to now putting people who have no business leading the affairs of the party in charge of the party in crucial areas.
But isn't that the price you pay? You spoke earlier about diversity, bringing the youth, bringing in
inclusion,
the inclusion part. At a point, the party also suffered for being seen as to be too intellectual-ish, middle class-ish. They needed to bring others on board, which led to the bringing of all these people, which now is causing a problem, whether we like it or not. So it's the price you pay in trying to depart from your original style or whatever of the party.
So the point I'm making is, let the fulcrum stay, let the core, the pivot stay, right? Those will be the leading lights. You can always get people in. The whole idea is, okay, we want to bring people together around a certain principle.
But how do I
But you provide the leadership.
How do I feel I'm part of you when you are still the core? If you say the intellectual thing, I'm just
you see, I'm not trying to be an elitist in this case. What I'm trying to say is that it is possible to not have the best of education, but still reflect a certain standard and principle, a passable standard and principle. So that when you're providing leadership, you lead the party's heart and soul, if we can call it that. And what you exude is a culture clearly not synonymous with the MPP. Now that will raise a lot of questions. Now people say, what's going on here? Do you understand? People aspire to a certain, like they want to see something. MPP4 no Mukasa no. You understand? Like they defer to that. You provide leadership because you know better. Or so we assume.
Okay.
But if your leadership is nothing close to what the party would ordinarily have aspired to attain, then you have to get back to the core and find out. So look at the names. Professor this, Professor that, all of them are on the list.
Yeah.
Because it is assumed that with that the wealth of knowledge you bring to the table by reading so widely matters in the running of the party. I'm saying that you can be a Form 4 leaver or JSS leaver, but your conduct should reflect a certain core principle of the NPP.
And you think that in terms of the leadership of the NPP, there has been a dwindling of that quality?
No finesse, like in many areas, no finesse. People just, I don't know, it was too raw in the faces of the people. Like,
people along.
Oh, no, I
people
think,
along.
Charlie, no.
It may be the people that, like you said, you could bring people along from all walks of life.
That's true.
But get people who fit in nicely at the top in terms of leadership. Right?
Yeah.
That is where they probably, got it wrong. But it comes back to what we were saying earlier about calling people in order with the leadership of this party. We saw these people that were brought along who were doing things that didn't reflect the style of the party, but nothing was done to these people. In fact, they at a point were calling the shots.
You see, so there's a let's make this up. You see, the party when in opposition is led by the national chairman. In government is led by the president. That superstructure in itself is problematic, and the NDC also has a similar, arrangement, because the president already has the power of governance, the power of the pairs, move things around. I'll give you appointment, I won't give you appointment. He can deplete the national leadership of the MPP if they are also like thinking of serving in government. We saw that with Damboche becoming a minister under John Kufuor and all of that. What that does is that you have people who are beholding. They can't speak true to power. Of course, you can't say that of Damboche because at a certain point he and Kufuor were on different, exactly. And in the current administration, he had a fallout with the president, as we understand it. So if you don't have people who can tell the president in the face that, Mr. President, yes, you may be leading this country, but we have an election to run. While you should do your best to serve the very best interest of the people of this country, make sure you do not wreck the vehicle that got you to the presidency. We didn't see that. And some will say that it was a strategic decision to sort of water down the weight of people who should be at the asylum down office of the
so
party
as not
director.
To challenge
so these are not people who could easily walk up to the man and say, Mr. President, look, the 94 people who have come here are members of our party in the various constituencies. They were the people who led the charge for you to get the votes from these constituencies to become president. What they are saying matters. and we insist that you listen to them, regardless of whether you are president or leader of the party.
Okay, Sky, let me make it easier. So we are talking about the fact that over the period under the Akufo-Addo administration, we've seen a stronger government, a strong man leading the government of the day with a weaker leadership in the party,
Yes,
the
there
party
was
on whose ticket that the government then was established. So that's a point firmly established. Now, what would be the second point? Would you also say, I mean, because we've seen developments where there are times where in constituencies, candidates said to be sponsored by Jubilee House are sort of imposed on the people. People are dissatisfied, then they go independent. Then you find that also MMDCs or municipal people are contesting their sitting candidates. There's generally been a weakened parliamentary side, because while you are MP trying to play your parliamentary roles at your constituency level, the DC or municipal assembly, you have to.
No, the MPP did not allow that.
I mean, you had to resign in order to contest as MP,
yes.
and we've seen a number of cases where that happened, where municipal assembly MMDCs basically resigned to contest, or sometimes the MP's PA contest the DCE or MCE. We've seen those kind of cases. So the unity has sort of suffered within the party structures. This is what I'm also seeing. I don't know if you think that was strong enough, whether in terms of party cohesion within that stretch.
I think this time around it was better. Where the issue came was where those who tried to challenge the president on the Uforiata issue,
where most of them lost their seats.
Lost their seats. Cool. They were dealt with. They were punished.
I don't know about most. Let's manage the way.
At least for the primaries, some suffered during the primaries.
Friendly with some, because even most them we know as a matter of certainty.
Yes.
Majority of them lost. Yes.
So some of them suffered during the primaries. Some who were able to sail through.
At least the two most vocal people lost.
Abia Akubi and the other guy who lost the primaries.
That we can say.
Yeah. I mean, the two spokespersons, they all left.
Yeah.
But Afri is back in Pakistan.
So he survived the tsunami.
Yeah,
so those people were punished. Comes back to the issue of who can stand up and not be punished.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the current crop of elders in the MPP, right? So you have the likes of Peter McMahon, you have the likes of Hackman, and the gentleman who was running Baumia's team, Choice, your former boss,
Fred
Owari and all that. I don't know what happens behind the scenes. Maybe behind the scenes they tell the president off, but I'm not sure that is what happens.
You see, Nana-Addo has a very strong presence. It's one of those leaders who, like, if this is what he wants to do, and he wants to do it, let's do it. And if he doesn't get his way, it becomes a problem.
You're punished for it?
So I won't go as much as
well, that's how it comes across.
You see, so I think the MPP failed in that respect.
Yeah.
And the people who's, okay, let me put it this way. You know, he was counting on some of these people to secure the speakership for him, as I understand it from what we hear around. Because they came with a
which is at the time.
Yes, they came with a proposal that, look, Mrs. President, no, this your person you want to bring, look, no, we can't allow that. Stay with our man. We will make sure that it is delivered. Are you sure? Yeah, I will make it happen.
Okay, so then...
Meanwhile, commitments had already been made that you will get it. We will support you. It's part of the effort to broaden and open the doors of the party to other areas of this country. Right? But they went to the elections and they lost. And in fact, that day I was at the, what do you call
Parliament.
it? Yeah, I was in Parliament.
Yeah.
When the back and forth was happening, at the point, I had the opportunity to go to where the presidents were sitting, walked in there, everybody was sweating. Parliament could not resolve who would become speaker. The man was like
angry,
very angry, was boiling. That, look, dignitaries are here. You said you make it happen. For some reason, this thing is not happening. What's going on? And that was when the fights were happening. I wouldn't go further into what happened eventually, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, the party lost the speakership. And the NDC prosecuted that position to the best of their ability, and they had a master, brain in Alban Bagbin to do the work for them. And you saw the last 4 months of the life of this parliament. Some of these things, you would assume that, and when I speak to it from a position of some appreciable, passable knowledge of what happens in the house, and a long history of what I understand the house to be, and then also a certain understanding of the rules. Many of the things that happened over the last 4 months were not a matter of proper use of procedure. It was pure politics.
Okay. You see, that's fair. I mean, I'm trying to tabulate.
Let me just add something to this. How he's traced the history, but you see, the MPP's problem started in the lead up to the 2016 elections.
2016.
Oh yes, the 2016 elections. When you look at the time of the removal of Paul Lafoko and Kwabena Japan, that's where their problem started.
After they won the election.
No, they did that to win an election.
It's just like NDC saying, we remove Haruna.
You did that to win an election. Yes. But after winning the election, you did not resolve the problem, which had festered. You didn't resolve the problem. You had a man like Kwabena Japan, solid guy running your party because of interest. And politics is full of interest. That is fine. You couldn't manage the situation. And since then, I don't think the MPP has really recovered when it comes to the party structures and how they operate their party structures. I don't think they've been able to recover. It's always now one powerful person now instructing a lot of the times.
Gentlemen and lady, let's not forget that later today, the President of the Republic will be rendering an account of his stewardship in the last 8 years. You come and tell us,
but his leadership of the country in the last 4 years and 8 years has led his party into opposition.
That's true. But you see, the thing is that the man doesn't believe what you are saying.
He says he's been honored.
While the evidence is that, look, Ghanaians have really struggled, especially over the last 4 years. He doesn't see it like that. And you will see that in what he would say today. I could be wrong. But if the man would keep true to form, he will come and tell us what he believes he's been able to do. Of course, I agree that there have been many fantastic things that he did as a leader, but there have also been very terrible things that he's done as a leader. And those have come to undermine the fortunes of the party.
Right.
I would expect that he would depart. I hope he would depart from the usual script, telling us what he believes he's been able to achieve with his. I think he should make some concessions.
It should be more measured, not upbeat and very praise singing.
That's why he should make some concessions. On this matter, I think I got it, a bit somewhere.
Do you think that can happen?
If he didn't believe that he was,
but ultimately,
you're not going to get that.
But ultimately,
yes.
As I said some time ago, history will determine where he is placed in the order of leaders of
in the
country.
meantime,
as we saw with John Dramani Mahama, we thought he was the worst thing that happened to this country when he lost by 1 million or so votes. But Ghanaians said,
yes,
John,
later.
Please,
because they saw something worse.
Yes, I'm better.
0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Send me your comments. Happy to read them. But so also while we do the postmortem for the NPP, what has been, in your view, President Akufo-Addo's legacy? What would you remember him for as he's leaving office and will be accounting to the nation in his stewardship? What do you expect him to capture in a State of the Nation address? I would like to hear that from you. And maybe you may want to add your personal experience. What you feel the elephant if you are visually impaired. People feel different parts of the elephant. Literally, that's why it's an elephant. So, which part of the elephant did you feel, and what will be the longest memory that will linger for you? I have the voice of economist Professor Patrick Assuming. He's been saying what he expects the president to do in his State of the Nation address today. Let's take a listen.
I certainly hope that the president will acknowledge the difficult economic times that we have endured. My suspicion is that he will spend more time playing up the recent higher than expected growth rates, especially for 2024. But, what I hope that he will use his last State of the Nation address to do is to be more candid about where we have been and where we are. I also expect that it won't be just the recent times, but give a full account of how the economy has been in the 8 years that he's been president. And you get the sense that there will be a lot more praise singing in terms of effort and how well we have done, rather than a reflection or giving a more accurate description of the problems that Ghanaians have encountered. But whatever it is, you expect that the IMF program will be featured. You get the sense that the decisions and choices that have been made will be justified. You get the sense that probably the president will say we are doing much better than we actually are. That's what I expect that it will happen.
So, Professor Patrick Esuming, he is an economist. He's been saying what he expects the president to do, but he also says what he thinks the president will do. He thinks that the president will do more praise singing, but he actually expects the president to actually be more reflective and tell us the true state of the nation, not do the usual thing we have come to know of presidents. But Sky, it's interesting because as I sit here, I'm playing back the president's very first speech from when he was inaugurated. Right?
Inaugural speech, you mean?
His inaugural speech. Yes, thank you for that. And I'm looking at all that has happened in between from the beginning to now. And it's quite interesting what can happen in 8 years, right? So we started from we have to be citizens and not spectators. And then the next speech, the Independence Day, I remember so clearly because I was doing national service at the time. The president talked about how it's important for Ghanaians to be early at appointments. We need to be tidy. We need to be clean. He said the right things. We need to visit Ghana. We need to tour Ghana. We should, people should shun traveling abroad and tell them before, let's say a president is traveling around some luxury aircraft and you go for events and appointees are late, people are found to be involved in, scandals, and the president comes and it almost sort of like the confidence kept dipping from where we took off. I don't know.
You see, that's why many of us believe that in many ways it was a missed opportunity. Because the goodwill that brought him to office. I say this because of my personal knowledge of him. And there's a matter of public record. Now, Nanado owned the Statesman newspaper. That's where I cut my teeth as what do you call it?
A journalist.
A journalist. And I say this without any reservations whatsoever. People can make whatever they make of it. But the truth is, I am what I am today because he set up an institution that I went to learn the trade, but that is not what defines me. People try to use that to say, hey, this guy is this and that, but I mean, you leave that to the low intellectuals to aspire to say something about. But the truth is, from that personal knowledge of him, it is the case that look, he there are things he cares about, there are things he wants to achieve, right? And as a leader, there are times you need people to deliver on what you want to achieve. If you don't have the right people, you fail. If your inner circles are seen to be tilted in a certain direction, family, where you come from, and it is only their views that matter, other people pull back, or they say yes sir, and then go on to exactly. Yeah, that's right. I think he went too far in that respect, moving too far towards Chebi and the Achim areas, as people felt, because it was like at some point some people thought that is he the president or someone else from the family was president? In this case, the people reference the minister responsible for finance and all of that. But that may not necessarily be the case. But his voice carried a lot of weight. You understand? Now, given that personal knowledge that I have spoken about, the question is whether, if you reflect over the 8 years, he could have done more. Yes, 1.something million votes you had in excess. I mean, on top of the president at the time. So there was goodwill. Free SHS, people spoke about it, that look, yes, you want to do it, but there are problems with it.
Yeah.
If he listened, perhaps would have had a better free senior high school. There would have been a lot more money to do other things. You are going out of this country too much to borrow. You said that, look, the Honorable Ken Ofuriatta sat across me on Eyewitness News on Point Blank and asked him questions about taxation. The biggest bane of this country not being able to deepen the tax net. He said that they have the master plan to deal with it. When they came, how much improvement have we seen in terms of ensuring that people got into the tax net to pay a lot more to the state? We were seeing a lot of foreign travels to make money. At some point, they were doing Kenke party. You understand? All of those things have contributed to where we are today. And if he had set up a government which had very critical voices, who would tell him in the face, Mr. President, no, this one we disagree. Stop this. And he would listen. Perhaps that would have guided us in the...
Was there a shortage of critical voices, or there was an absence of listening?
Both. Well, I think yes, I would agree with Vivian. Both. Because, look, the 94 who spoke in Parliament, look, I believe that they should have seen it through. When you believe that the finance minister had overstayed his welcome,
right,
and the minority pushed a motion seeking to impeach him, in essence, vote of censure. Of course, the president was not obliged to obey what the parliament says, necessarily. At least that's the view that some constitutional lawyers take. They should have supported it. And if they had supported it, then Parliament had passed a resolution saying that, look, the minister be kicked out of office. That would have been a profound statement and would have seen what the president would have done. You understand? But there was a whip from the asylum down office that, hey, this thing, you are supposed to go and oppose it. And the NDC's votes of censure, whatever. In fact, they ought to have even filed that themselves and solicited the support of the minority. So, yes, there were critical voices, but what was the level of their own conviction? And did they push it to the last limits? Of course, sitting here, I can say all the things I'm saying. But maybe when you are in there, maybe the approach might be different, because you're also thinking of, look, they are likely to go after me, my seat, and all of that. So, yes, there were critical voices. Were they critical enough? Maybe. But did they see through to the end their own aspirations and convictions? It's another matter. And then also, as we stated earlier, the party leadership, there was a huge deficit.
There's always the thing of, how does the leader stay in touch with the people?
Right.
What do you use to ensure that you're in touch with the people? Right. The first one, first-hand information. The second, through people who are feeding you with information. Right. In the case of the president, who was doing that? Who were the people around him who were to ensure that the things that, or what Ghanaians are going through, what they want, the realities on the ground, he's being fed with the truth and nothing but the truth? That's one. He himself, what measures was he using to ensure that what is on the ground, or what the realities
is what is being reported,
is what
to him.
he's seeing, or what is being reported to him? I don't know whether he watches local news. I don't know whether he reads local newspapers, and whether it's skewed towards one side. Because there are some media houses who tell you what you want to hear from where they belong, right? And there are people around you who will tell you what you want to hear because of their vested interest, right? Now, it got to a time when the challenges of the economy started. Every Ghanaian knew but the people in government. And that was a big problem. You go to the same social media that helped them in 2016. When you go on social media, right, everybody wanted the NDC out at the time, those who were on social media. The same route, people were saying the same thing on social media, but nobody in government was seeing it. We started seeing the protests.
They will tell you in private that Charlie, things are tough.
So
you're missing out. You're misbehaving.
So what are you?
Can't speak.
That's the thing. you can't tell the person running the thing that he's going off.
We don't have a culture of resignation. People don't believe in, like, to say, look, I'm leaving. I'm tired of this.
Let me bring in some voices from our listeners and viewers from across the other. Sorry, no, these are text messages. I mean, so bringing in some text messages. I think a bit later on the morning, I'd let listeners even phone in to tell us how their experience of the Akufo-Addo government has been in the last 8 years.
When some Ghanaians will miss him.
Oh, but that's always the
case.
It's always the case.
Look, he's made his fault.
Yes.
He's done his
He enjoyed the presidency too. We like how he went about.
It's almost always like that.
Yeah.
As some boy were tired of Rolling.
Yeah.
And we say he should go. He left.
Not even Mahama.
And then we say, Rolling should have been there.
Yeah.
Then Kufuor came.
Yeah.
We say, corruption, blah, blah, blah. Now Kufuor is a statesman. Everybody wants to hear him.
Mills came.
We say,
upon all his faults.
Yes.
There's one thing you cannot take away from Nana Addo.
Yes.
That bold decision to implement the free SHS.
Yeah.
Something you cannot take away
That's
from
one
Nana
of
Addo.
his
the benefits we'll see,
Yeah.
or the problems of it we'll see in, say, 10 years, 20 years. The people who have gone through the system, they will be leading affairs in 10 years, 20 years. And we'll see whether they'll
be happy
it was
with
good or
history
bad.
Let's bring in some comments. Let's be blatant with the NPP. One of the major causes of their defeat is arrogance from all levels, the president especially, and his appointees. Ghanaians will call your bluff when you are found to be arrogant. It will be very arrogant if they ignore this factor of arrogance. One of the reasons for this gigantuan loss is in the midst of the economic hardship, the NPP, and for that matter, Dr. Baumia, was campaigning as if they were in opposition with the phrase, "When I come to power." John from Koforidua sent that through. More messages coming through. You guys are just... Okay. The committee's work should be easy peasy, but AI helps them. Or he said, I will help them. 1, he says, arrogance of the president and the entire leadership. 2, corruption of unimaginable levels. 3, economic hardship of the common man. 4, a weak presidential candidate who led Ghana into the very mess we were voting to escape from. 5, intolerance, intimidation, disrespect for Ghanaians. Unless they swallow their pride and deal with their attitude, they remain in the dark side of 38.2 years. Okay, good morning, Citi. I hope you guys aren't losing sight of the fact that during the period of a political party's incumbency as the President of the Republic, the chairman is not the leader of the party. Thus, Stephen Tim is not the leader of the NPP. Nana Addo is.
I made that point.
Great. Now, during a dispensation where relatives and close acquaintances are being listened to more than the real party men, how can the party's chairman assert himself that much to stem the excesses of the government? Any wonder the contention that Nana Addo lost the election for NPP? Let's give Steve a bit of credit. Please, Ni Otu, send that through. From West Legon in Accra. Caleb and team, good morning. This is Liz from Nungwa. I would always say that between NPP and NDC, I would prefer to vote for NPP. But this time around, I didn't vote at all. In 2016, Nana Addo was viewed as the messiah to save Ghana from the perils of the nation. But frankly, the human rights activists we knew and what Nana Akufo-Addo stood for failed the nation completely. Nana Akufo-Addo disappointed Ghanaians, and those of us with some affinity for the NPP decided it was a waste of time to go vote. Nana Akufo-Addo completely failed Ghana, and we needed a change, so we allowed the NDC supporters to give us the change. Please, Caleb, tell the politicians to listen to the people. It is the people who feel the pain of bad governance, so our voices matter. Bam, you add. Sky, the major cause of defeat for NPP is purely based on losing touch with the ordinary Ghanaian and their aspirations. This was the main posture of Akufo-Addo and those who surrounded him, or those he surrounded himself with. NPP lost the election in 2022, and they played ignorance to it. The critical aspect of this election is that we have a majority of common sense in Ghanaians. Yours truly, Farmer K. Cindy from Atayeko says the president should be making some confessions and apologize to Ghanaians. Okay, for the militant rule you add. I want to hear the president apologize to us and accept that it was Ken, the finance minister, who led them to the position. This is from Sunday Palamding. Sunday is not happy. Hi CBS. I remember Nana Akufo-Addo as the president who had the most goodwill from Ghanaians, but disappointedly underachieved because he was surrounded by evil hawks, you say, who ill-advised him on the decisions he took, whether good or bad. Nana showed boldness in the position, but in his 2 terms, he proved weak. Kofi Intema. Good morning. Given the role often attributed to journalists as the fourth estate of the realm, I am of the opinion that it would have been beneficial for insightful analysis to have been provided prior to the occurrence of the tsunami. It appears that efforts are now being directed towards a futile and akin to administering... Okay.
I don't think the person was listening to the Citi Breakfast Show.
Some months prior, even months prior.
Look, I don't think that's
from Galamsey to economic analysis,
please
let's
give us some credit.
Let's be fair.
You might not like how we say it or whatever.
The messages are plenty, Sky.
Yes, good.
In fact, at 9:20, I'll take phone calls.
Yes,
so please be ready to call in 0549. Phone line is 0539 986. 986-0539-986-996. Good morning, Caleb. What I remember the outgoing president for... Oh, okay. You are not happy. That's okay. That establishes the point. So, let me take a breather. I'll take a break. When we return, there are more messages and I'll take your phone calls as well. It's 9:12. This is the Citi Breakfast Show, 97.3 Citi FM. Caleb Kuda in the chair with Fred Tete Jabano, Richard the Last Guy, Vivian Kai Loco, and Godfred Abeku Odum, the richest man. Samuel Akom is the man who's producing us today. Lydia's very good friend.
Yeah.
he was treated.
Somebody must kill a man. It's okay. It's not a problem.
He said he was not killed.
It's okay. It's one of the defining moments of this election year. Yes.
Out of the goodness of my heart.
Yes, let's support the needy.
Oh my, it's nuts on a bit.
Guinea, ice.
Malink of Kanata, Migona, Paklakota Gretchen. Migrena Mary, Boya do Pavi, Boba move Madela Strikaji. Now for the Kale Yama Yabolet, Clodue Military Kukamwama plane. Haja Timana Kota Gretchen. You Haja Milako Maladu Haja. Forget your wahala na muaba galana duwe na jalaga. Awodo kube nyek paliga hajado skimonovo vale fariga. Sunday makava makla. 5 ma khodu veve. Obo zigi di jojon le sort city. Afya kachi to honji mangam. Ta apology. Bakodeji. Chikodeji. Abe matakli. Obeleke. Achende. Amenye Sunday one day. Haja. Timana kota kleje. You haja. Mila go maladu haja.
Oh my, it's nuts.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Ghana Post. The most affordable delivery option for food and merchandise from Ghana to everywhere in the world. Connect with us today and see for yourself. Ghana Post. Smart, secure deliveries.
will deliver wherever you are in the world.
Are you hoping to start university this January? If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and up to 50% scholarship to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless possibilities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our January 2025 intake. Apply now for our foundation program. For more information, contact us at +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
First impressions matter. Make yours unforgettable with the irresistible scent of Princess Body Mist and Roll-On. Designed for every lady who wants to leave a lasting impression wherever she goes. And for our gentlemen, there is Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Elevate your presence with a confident, masculine fragrance that keeps you dry and fresh all day. Because your fragrance should speak before you do, use Princess Body Mist and Roll-On and Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Your daily essentials for smelling good from dawn till dusk. Princess and Style Up. Smell good and feel great together. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
For the times I step out of my house.
It's 9:20, Friday morning, 97.3 Citi FM, Citi Breakfast Show. Caleb Kuda in the seat, Richard Alaskai, Vivian Kai Loco, Fred Tete Jabano, Godfred Abeku, the richest man, serving you the beautiful sounds you're hearing. This is Adigo Calm by Jidu again, I believe. Or Kini Ice.
This is Jidu.
Okay, so Hadja is the Kini
yeah,
Ice.
Kini Ice.
So they are all your artists under your record label. They are all under your record label.
Sky Records.
Sky Records, yeah.
No,
sorry, I checked this Mensa.
Mensa.
So Ni Mensa. Ni Mensa Queen.
Even if we want to give it, we'll call it Hagbe Record.
Hagbe.
That's what
No.
Hagbe. It's song.
Yes, Hagbe. The lyrics.
Hagbe's voice.
Hagbe, yes.
Hagbe's
So
voice.
lyrics is
Yes, Hagbe.
It's
Yes,
Hagbe.
Yes, Hagbe. Yes.
But you know, Sky started this job long time ago. This record. When you hear Obi tell you the story about
Ignore it. Anything he's coming to say.
He and Jimmy.
I don't remember you on the floor.
Our brother. You know, I still government.
So let's take your phone calls. What would you say led to the crushing defeat of the New Patriotic Party NPP and its candidates, the sweeping losses in Parliament? The President will also be delivering his State of the Nation address. This will certainly be his last as President of the Republic in the last 8 years. What would be the lingering memory of his stewardship for you and your household? 0539 986 996, 0549 986 996. In the meantime, it's time to reset yourself and everything around you for success in the new year. Tune into Effective Living Series 2025 this January on Channel 1 TV and Citi FM. Start your year with insightful discussions and expert tips on personal growth, health, success, and more. From the 6th of January, join Apioko and myself. We'll engage our guests with various expertise on the Effective Living series for a comprehensive guide to resetting your life in 2025. In week 1, we kick off with personal reset. Week 2, we focus on resetting your personal economy. Week 3 will be all about your health, so resetting your health. And week 3 will be resetting business, calibrate, remodel, and rebuild. So catch the Effective Living series live on the Citi Breakfast Show on 97.3 Citi FM and on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV Monday through Thursday. Don't miss out on transforming your life for the better every week only on Channel 1 TV and Citi FM. The Effective Living series 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM. I have my first caller. Please tell us your name, where you are calling from, and kindly be decorous and mind your choice of words, I beg you. We have started the new year. Let's start it nice. Good morning, please. What's your name and where are you calling from? Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. Bless. That is my name. I'm calling from Obojo, Accra.
Okay, Bless. Let's hear you.
What's your name and where are you calling from? Okay. Actually, Happy New Year to you people in the Citi FM.
Bless.
Hello,
Bless. Can you hear me? Yes. A second. Kindly turn down the volume of your radio set and then go on.
Okay. Am I okay now?
Wonderful.
Okay. Politicians in general, are used to taking we Ghanaians, for granted. And they will not listen to the people who put them there. In fact, sometimes when they are on opposition, they will do everything possible, say all kinds of, against their opponents who are in power. And people like us will believe them. But just when we give them the mandate, they will also go there and even start to do the same thing and even doing it even worse. This is a government, which we have seen for the first time, who will not listen to anybody, the cry, the petrol increasing here and there. In fact, some of us who have a car, you notice that this, the first time in an election, at least, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, where even close to the election, petrol keep on increasing here and there. And so you ask yourself, do we have leaders who cares at all? And with a whole lot, all these promises that were made to us, which we believe them for, all later tend to be free SHS, achievement and digitals and cool. And the same people are going around. They will not tell you the truth. They will not emphasize on things that are even rotten, not only bad but rotten. I'm not surprised.
Right.
In fact, I'm very happy that Ghanaians actually voted this way.
Okay, thank you.
And I hope that people who are on it, today or incoming government will also learn from this and at least do better.
Thank you for your call. Really appreciate you. Who else do I have on the line? Please kindly remember to turn down the volume of your radio set. Mention your name, where you're calling from, and please go on.
My name is Robert, calling from Kwabena, Asamoah.
Right, let's hear you.
Good morning to your listeners. The main problem of... My name is Robert, calling from Kwabena, Asamoah. You see, the main problem was that caused the defeat of MPP was one, ignorance. They were never ready to listen to Ghanaians. They were never ready. And the most painful part was the Galamsey fight that all Ghanaians were fighting. At least, even 1 month before the election, you could have listened to Ghanaians and halted so that we know that you are serious fighting for the people of Ghana. But what did we see? Total disrespect from the deputy minister, saying all kind of things, empowering the Galamseyers to go on and do it. I mean, it does not show any kind of respect to leadership, which today, even the kids that are coming will never, ever even want to have a clue with it in anything they do. Right. And lastly, I will humbly request that the next administration try and listen to Ghanaians. And the most important thing we want from them is to fight. The aura should take place. That is what we want, is the aura, Operation Retrieve All. And if they do that, we are ready to vote for them again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert from Kwabena. Happy New Year to you too. Who do I have on the line? Please remember to turn down the volume of your radio set. Mention your name, where you're calling from, and kindly let's hear you. Hello. Okay, do we have someone? Yes, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Manuel coming from Citi.
Did you say Manuel?
Yes, I do.
Please speak up a bit for us.
Yeah. So, I think Nana becoming a president of Ghana is by coincidence. Because, I said this because the man has nothing to offer Ghana. But because of the tiredness of things that were going on when former President Mahama was in power, the difficulty, that was what got a chance for our current president to get the chance to become a president.
Right.
So, for him becoming a president, you realize there are a lot of things going on. But it's difficult for some leaders who used to criticize the former president in certain decisions. They find it difficult to do things when Nanado as a president is ruling Ghana. So those things have fight against the party, and that caused their defeat in 2020 parliamentary election, and also seeing this 2024.
Very well, Emmanuel from East Legon. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. 0539-986-996 is the number. If you join us, please remember to turn down the volume of your radio set and make your point. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. We have a number of your WhatsApp messages as well. We'll be bringing them to you. This is 97.3 Citi FM. call us the Citi Breakfast Show. My name is Caleb Kuda. We have a caller on the line. Hello, sir. Oh, ma'am. Good morning. We'll love to hear from the women too, but who do I have on the line, please?
My name is Kwame, calling from Butchie.
Let's hear you.
Good. So what I will remember the president for is a comment actually from Nana Jantua, who said that the president is an error on Ghanaians. And I believe that. Then because sometimes, he always comes out to defend his perceived corrupt appointees, clearing them and so on. That's aside. This one I want to speak to Mr. Richard actually. Can those who are saying that, he will advise me later, can those who are saying that the fire service tenders came to spray fuel into the fire, can they be arrested and prosecuted? That's one. Those who are blaming NEC, NPP, and so on, can they also be called to come and prove what their claim is? Mr. Richard, I want you to advise me on that. And then the last one. Is it possible, Mr. Richard, that the incoming president call back all the awards that Akufo-Addo has given to himself and then to his so-called, ministers?
Kwame, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have very serious concerns. Thank you. I have someone else on the line. Hello, good morning. Great. Okay, there's a message here says, okay, I'll bring you more of that. 0539-986-996, 0549-986-996. These are the numbers. Call us, send us a WhatsApp message. We're happy to share them with you. I have someone on the line. Hello, good morning. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Good morning, Mr. Caleb. I'm Daniel, calling from Ho.
Daniel from Ho, let's hear you.
Mr. Caleb, for me, I just need one thing from the president, if only he can do it before leaving power, because graduate teachers, we applied around September, and as at now, our applications are pending for consideration. And some of our colleagues are paying back doors, 15,000, 20,000, they are giving them appointments. It's very disappointing that we have all the qualifications to be posted, and they are holding them for pending. So now,
right.
It's very bad. Very, very bad.
Thank you very much.
I know he has nothing to tell us, but we are just going to listen to him for the listening sake. But they should do something about it, especially the Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service.
Daniel, thank you.
They are taking advantage of us and they are duping us.
Daniel, thank you.
Please.
Thank you, Daniel from Ho. 0539-986-996, 0549-986-996. But have people forgotten so soon? I mean, was it all that bad?
That what?
Was it? Everybody is saying, Charlie. Oh, man.
That's what I said, that look, there were positives and there were negatives. I think time will reveal how bad it was and how good it was.
This guy, I have one more person on the line. Hello, good morning. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from. Kindly reduce the volume on your radio set and let's hear you.
Calling from Ashama.
Please say that again.
Hey, Caleb. First of all, is Richard there? Hello?
I'm here.
Please, tell Richard, I really need him or something. So if he doesn't, my issue, get my number from him so that I can talk to him.
Okay.
And I want to thank you guys. Happy New Year. Great work and a wonderful way. You know, you could have been exposed today, yesterday and today. You could every day you say politician doesn't reach through the line, but you could have refused to reach through the line. Have you found your show? You guys are enjoying the show where you include Vivian. Today's Vivian had brought the show different vibe. As for Richard here, I don't know what to do to him.
So you want Vivian to stay?
Yeah, Vivian should stay at least. If I don't want Bernard to come back, be the show.
It's okay.
Let Vivian be your partner.
My friend,
stop. You guys are done
Be calming down. Have you eaten this morning?
No, Bernard should rest more. I want Bernard to rest more.
This man don't come find wahala for me. You know what it takes to be doing this. My God,
I want Bernard to rest more. Let Vivian and you Richard guy. If the most village guy I've ever seen, most village guy who is so so educated that he has blended his village life plus education all together and is making waves in the system. Charlie, big up to that guy and big up to you all. As I said, the president has done his part. We all live to see. And he may not be good, he may not do all the right things, but we remember me if not the bad, and we remember me if not the bad, and we remember me for the good too. Anything that they have done their part. And we wish them well. They should go. They should go and learn their lesson. And my own is, why should a politician wait?
It's okay. Thank you. It's kind of
we are my villager.
I say you are from the village. You bring village vibe, you know what I mean?
Village vibes.
This guy. This one. I no, man, guys. All right, we have another person on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Please
My name is Noble, calling from Muningo.
Let's hear you.
Okay, I think what leads our leaders to opposition is the bad governance they take us through. I think through introducing certain taxes that we, the youth, don't want it, and also unemployment. That's what leads them to opposition. And we pray that new government will not do the same as they did. So thank you. This is what I think it leads them to opposition. Thank you.
I thank you. Do I have someone else on the line? Good morning. Happy New Year to you. Okay. 0539-986-996, 0549-986-996. Please keep your comments straight to the point. Thank you for the feedback also that you share with us. So far, Blessed has called us from Ogbojo, Robert from Kwabenya, Emmanuel from East Legon. Who else do I have on the line, please? Yes, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. You know, I'm aware of picturing people by their voices, but I was stunned when I saw it in the last guy. I was like, you know what I imagined him to look like at all. My name, I like his contribution. I learned a thing or two moments. He's always careful with his words. This is because he's a lawyer. Anyway, please, I have nothing good to say about this young man. He has absolutely done nothing good in my eyes.
Okay, thank you.
Doesn't reflect any good.
All right. Thank you very much for your call. There are a number of messages that have come through. We'll try and intersperse the calls and the messages. The phone lines are on fire this morning. Hello, good morning. Who do I have on the line, please?
Hello, this is Ezekiel from Medina.
Right, let's hear you, please.
Hello.
Ezekiel, you're on air.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good morning, Caleb. I think what contributed to the loss of the MPP in this election basically had to do with the arrogance displayed by the appointees of the Akufo-Addo-led government. We had a lot of scandals. Then the fight of Galamsey came, and this government demonstrated that they were never ready to listen to Ghanaians with regards to fighting of Galamsey. Then came the issue of Dumso. You had the minister in charge of energy telling Ghanaians to basically go do their own timetable if they felt Dumso was in the country. It was like they were living in a different bubble, which was totally different from the reality that Ghanaians were experiencing. So I think the government was just not listening to Ghanaians. And I think that contributed a lot to their downfall in this election.
Thank you, Ezekiel. Thank you for your call. 0539-986-996. There's the number 0549-986-996. Who do I have on the line, please?
Hi, Caleb. This is Daniel.
Right, Daniel, where are you calling from? Please tell us.
Okay, Daniel from La. Caleb, good morning to your listeners and then to your entire team in the studio. And I'd like to say the reason why the president lost this election was that some years back, 2021, I bought a Toyota Vic and I could go to the pump
fill the tank with 200 Ghana cedis and get a change. But this same 200 cedis cannot get me half time this time around. The other bit is I could go to the harbour at Tema Harbour, the fishing harbour, with 500 cedis, and I have all sort of assorted fish. But now I don't get that anymore. That same 500 cedis, I cannot do anything with it. Regards and all the best for you and the team, especially Leje Kukulagata, also known as Vivian Calico. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you for your calls. Caleb, I lost my job because of the NPP. The government refused to pay contractors their work done, and my company gave out loans to them. Eventually, we were all asked to go home, and it has been 2 years now since I came home. Definitely, me and my entire family voted them out. You say you didn't add your name. For me, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo has been a great leader who, in spite of global economic challenges, established so many huge infrastructure, namely the Botiman Sports Complex, factories, etc. His care for the poor, which made him implement the free SHS posterity, will surely acknowledge his achievements. Vero from Tema Sender through. We have someone on the line. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Medina. My name is Joe.
Joe from Medina, let's hear you.
Yeah, NPP must learn its lesson simply because way back in 1972, before they were taken out of power, you know, Buzia was then their leader as prime minister. And he did something. And Achampon then approached him and spoke to him. Buzia smoked Achampon. So Achampon mobilized his people and overthrew him 13 January 1972. And they didn't come to power until 2000. They stayed out of power for 28 years. You know the reason why. Vito also came, he didn't succeed. Edubuahin came, he didn't succeed. Why? Because they don't have any good thing to offer to this country. Kufuor came to power 2000, and he took us to hip peak. All that GMPC was doing for us to establish fuel, oil and gas, he sold everything out and took us to hip peak. Akufo-Addo came and destroyed all the maritime industry. Now people in the maritime industry are not getting work. Do you know our maritime industry can create about 3 million jobs? 3 million jobs. 3 million employment or people to work in the maritime industry, about 3 million. All these things, they didn't do anything about it. What I want to tell the present government, if you turn its eyes to the maritime industry, I'm telling you, it will create over 3 million jobs for Ghanaians. From Aflao to Asasini, we have large space that we can bring in more ships to create employment. And one ship working in the port or one ship working around Ghana can employ people who sell in the market. Can create job for those at the market. Because food handlers will go to the market and buy food. And also buy these things from food stuff from the shopping malls and other markets. Those who need repairs, water, mention a whole lot of employment.
Joe, thank you. Thank you for your thoughts. We appreciate your comments this morning. We have some others on the line. Hello, good morning. If you can hear me, tell us your name, where you're calling from. Great. If we're from Tishinungwa State says the soon-to-be ex-president Nana Akufo-Addo has been the worst in our history. The hardships we have experienced have been unbearable. Promises have gone unfulfilled, and Ghanaians have been misled. Okay. Caleb and Co. Happy New Year. The presidency of NADA was characterized by vindictiveness, targeting Indum and Dufour, who were big business tycoons in Ghana. 2. Arrogance, ordering chiefs to stand and greet him, talking rudely to chiefs. Example, Aflao and Bato. While we Ghanaians are starving, you were hiring expensive planes and bathing in the air. Okay. Never coming to the level of Ghanaians to accept realities. Always in denial. Failed promises, including wobbly free SHS, one village, one dam, etc., etc. We have someone on the line. Hello, good morning. If you can hear us.
Hello.
Yes,
yeah,
please.
Good morning, Caleb. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my brother.
I'm really happy that you have opened the airline for the callers to call this morning for your listeners and viewers to contribute to the program. It's been a long time, very, very long time since that was done, and there's been a lot of issues during the campaign for the 2024 elections that I really prayed and wished you open the airline, but it wasn't possible. I hope as we are in the new year, there is going to be the practice more often this time. Because sometimes people are so frustrated.
That's fine.
And
I
so
get it. I get it.
Airline,
That's okay. So you let us know what your thoughts are. Thanks for your suggestion.
All right. Now, on the point, there are two sides of Nanado. The Nanado of the COVID time, who comes regularly on Sunday evening and says, fellow Ghanaians, and it was so inspiring to know that you have a father who was in charge and giving us a lot of information. And the opposite side is the Nanado that we had the last 4 years, particularly last year. It was terrible, totally absent. Galamsey, economy, city, and everything. He was totally absent. It's like he had checked out. So I'm really happy about the election result. And there's something I will just finish with this point. I live in Lima, and I was wondering before the election, how are the results going to be? Because we had a former president, Christian, facing the vice president, a Muslim. I can tell you, Lima will be the strong Muslim communities in Accra. They voted massively for John Mahama. So I think our democracy has reached that point where it's not really about religion, it's not really about your ethnic group, it's not even really about how much rice, oil, envelopes you share when the people mean it.
All right.
So, thank you, sir.
Thank you, too. I didn't vote for the NPP. This is a comment that's coming in because of the tyrannical regime of the Akufo-Addo and Bawumia government. My fear was it was going to get worse should Bawumia be voted into power. The arrogance was too much for me. And finally, their ostrich, they played ostrich, and that was too much. A question I asked their pale loyalists is when they go to the market, do they buy tomato with 2 cedis while I buy with 20 Ghana cedis? Okay, so I lost my job. I think I read this earlier. Good morning, City. I am disappointed in the elders of the NPP. None of them could help salvage the downward movement of the party. The downfall of the party started right from the Afoko era. The elders, such as Professor Michael Kwe Sr., sat aloof, you say, to allow the president control the state and party at his will. The main reason for sacking Afoko and Co. was to allow the president to have absolute control. Professor Michael Kwe was a strong proponent of that idea. We have someone on the phone lines. Hello, good morning. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling from Papao.
Papao, okay, that's around Hacho. How are you?
Yeah, I'm Ivan. I'm happy for.
Right. Happy New Year, Evans. Please go on.
This election is supposed to be a Ghanaian.
Evans, could you please speak up a bit?
Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I say that I'm happy and I'm proud to be a Ghanaian. This election concern about our democracy. I'm proud to be a Ghanaian because this election will be a lesson to all the politicians. I will say the reason why the MPP have lost this election, they rule this country with impunity, arrogance, and disrespect. when they have the power, they think Ghanaians are useless. It should be a lesson to all the politicians in Ghana that they shouldn't take Ghanaians for granted. And it should be a lesson to Mahama coming to the power. That's the reason why we voted for him a lot. Like, it's a promise that he gave. If he don't fulfill all the promise, about 70%, we voted him out. It's not about me to me. It's not about I'm a Asante or I'm a Ewe or whatever. It's about Ghana. So this is what I want to say. And thank you for all you people.
Evans from Papao, thank you for saying what you wanted to say. What are you expecting the president to say in his final account? You know, fellow Ghanaians.
On the authority of Article 67 of the Constitution.
Thank you.
I've come before you, Mr. Speaker, in this honorable house to tell you that the
Yeah.
state of our nation
is in solid hands. Yeah.
I do indeed.
I do so, bro.
Charlie, you can almost, Charlie, predict what. But I believe that a more measured approach would be a better fit. Of course, the speech by now would have been finished. He would have rehearsed it.
Yes.
And appreciated where to raise his voice and all of those things, where to reflect the mood of the nation and all of that. But many people will be surprised if he does not, stay to the script. How he's always done these things. Look, I mean, 2017 to 2021, people will give it to him that look, he did something quite meaningful. After the COVID era, things just went down south. Too much borrowing. We're not listening to anybody, and all of that. I think it's a story of two halves, or it's a game of two halves. And 2021 to 2025 hasn't been a good story to actually tell. And there were things he could have done to steady the ship and to take us away from the iceberg that ultimately wrecked this nation. People are still paying the price for the indiscretion, the lack of discretion, the misdirected efforts that have actually crashed a lot of homes. People are still driving Uber. That's not to say that Uber is a bad job, but there were friends of mine who were in the banking industry. Now they rely on Uber just to get by. People who you tend to previously to say, Charlie, things are tough. What's that? They are now turning to you in many homes today, saying that, Charlie, we can't get by. I mean, these are real lives that have been wrecked as a result of misgovernance. So while there were positives, there must also be concessions that a lot of negatives have also been seen. And I think there are many people who will be grateful. Of course, many of us still paid a lot of money towards the education of our wards in these secondary schools because of some of the problems with free senior high school. But in almost every home today, you can point to someone who is related to someone. If it is not a person you know directly, someone knows somebody who benefited from free senior high school. I think for me, all those I have my own criticisms of the policy, I think that's the best thing that ever happened out of his presidency.
Right.
We need to fine-tune it and see how it's...
I think today the president would tout his achievement over the last 7 years and some months to his days to the end of his tenure. I expect the president to speak to reflect the state of the country, to reflect where we are as a people, our challenges, our difficulties. And for me, I expect the president to be bold enough to apologize to us for some of the things he couldn't do, some of the things he said he would do and couldn't do. I mean, this is his last speech as president to the people of Ghana. And I mean,
not necessarily.
No, I mean as president. As president.
No, in terms of his constitutional function.
Yes.
Through Parliament,
Through
this is his last one. He may want to deliver some other speech.
Maybe he may want to
No, what I'm saying is that
he want to deliver one on the 9th of the 6th.
Yeah, you never know.
But then I think that the president should.
But this is his last
constitutional.
That we know. That I expect him to be very candid with us about his performance.
Right.
Where he did well, he tells us he did well. Where he didn't, he should acknowledge it. And if possible, apologize to us for not performing. Oh, yes, he should apologize to us for not doing what he had promised us to do.
Some of the things he said will not happen.
I think like John Mahama in 2016, the president would end his speech like that. And this is what John Mahama said. As I said before, I would allow history to be the judge of how I have served our nation and how well I have done in my part in running my lap of the relay.
I do not think he will do that.
What the verdict?
I know.
What the verdict will ultimately be, I cannot say.
That posterity will judge his way. No, but he has given us his script already.
No, you see, and I take Fred's point. You see, leaders, we get angry with them in a moment, but time allows you to reflect. Some of the policies that he put in place, you may not see the impact of it today. For instance, if actually free senior high school work to the glory of God, we'll see it in a few years. One district, one factory. If indeed the factories survive and they're employing people, we'll see that in the fullness of time. Look, like I said here,
it's been
Rawlings were not happy with him at a certain way. They said, you get away. When he left, we said, oh, this man should have stayed. Maybe some discipline would have been here. And we saw that with other presidents.
Sky,
we say, hey,
let's yield to.
You won't get any apology. You won't get it today. You won't get it tomorrow.
Maybe
you won't get the apology because over the past few days, we've seen an increase in the GDP, which is something he's going to tout as he exits that. He's now bequeathing to the next administration
a very strong economy.
An economy that is rebounding.
Yeah.
So that is something we'll hear him say. And then what I think he should also push is unity and support of the new government to make things better. I think he may push towards that line, which would be good if he does. NPP was seen to be a party who had a lot of great people who should have steered the economy to greater heights. That was something everybody was expecting. It's not an excuse.
Russia, Ukraine.
It was a party that had a lot of businessmen and women who knew how to make money, who could find ways to make money, and people were hoping that we will get that. It was a party that people felt that COVID everybody suffered COVID.
Yeah, I mean, global, you see,
let's
make some. Let's admit
even
that COVID played this part.
Even in Russia,
but we exacerbated the problem with bad decisions.
Exactly. Yes. You know, the mismanagement was too much on all sides. Whether it's the currency, whether it's the finance, comments, everything was mania. So you know. The apology will not come, but we'll be told that things are now improving and the next government should do better for things to be moved to a better height.
Well noted. It's top of the hour. We will play one of the president's favorite songs for him. I'm sure he's listening. You enjoy it. You want to give us the tune for the relax? I said we'll play song. Then you are hijacking the tune.
Why are you behaving like somebody we know? Oh yeah, and the dance is like this.
And then the handkerchief will be there, you know.
I
it's a showboy.
It brings something to the presidency, you know. When you hear him speak, you know, that is his mouth. No, I don't need no. Look, I mean, we say all of these with utmost respect for you. You told us that we should be citizens, not spectators. And although we as citizens also played our part in your failures, we also played our part in holding you accountable in many respects. Many times you did not listen to us. At some point you listened to us and did these town halls and all of that. Yeah. But we hope that we'll be better citizens going forward. When there is time to commend, we'll commend. When there is time to criticize, we'll criticize. Our role doesn't stop here merely because you have left office. The nation-building process is still very much underway. The new government should learn from the lessons of the present and hopefully act right when they find themselves in office. Because Ghana is the only place that we have. I cannot call anywhere else home.
That's
Let's
true.
build
Yeah,
it.
this is for
Let's
all
make
of
it
us.
work for all of us.
Yeah.
Sharp.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
we play the song for Mr. President,
Yes.
those
Adodi.
yeah. Yesterday was the birthday of my father that will be done.
Oh, tell me about it, my brother.
So you have to, yeah, my
That will be
father,
done.
my father John Koshikuda. Yesterday was your birthday.
Oh, I never down for 4 years travel you.
You see, so I never yabo mama wakula ragani.
Go do a travel yi. Can I madun kuje travel yi?
Oh no, yesterday we were doing the nation's business. So happy birthday to
oh, Daddy Kuda, Reverend Kuda.
Yeah, man.
No, you are big man.
He's a big
Mau
man.
Shamini.
Yes.
Mau Pamunye. Alaba ye chove. Yadome. Alaba we wo do. We was ado. We was ado. Church mama. Asheke.
When you finish saying, then you explain to us.
So he said he did the work at night,
Yes.
and the fruits were seen in 9 months.
Okay.
But how do you know it was at night?
You never. Majority of the
No,
time.
it was nice telling the night, no.
Daddy, thank you so much for giving us a fantastic young man
Yes.
who is a leading light in many respects.
Yep.
Bless you and the rest of the family. Continue to grow in strength with God's protection. Greater things will happen to you
Amen.
and your name.
Amen.
The legacy you have left with us. Caleb Kuda. Yaoche. You know my name is Yaoche too.
Oh, I didn't know.
Let's talk
It was Larry that kept calling you Yao.
It's actually because I have an older Yao.
Okay, so
and then there's Yao V.
He has other
And then I am.
Yaoche, other ones.
That's what Yaoche.
The way I'm going, I don't know.
Good night.
Good night. We're out. Thank you for being a part of our day. God bless you. May we continue hearing good news.
Martin,